Hey guys, welcome to Becca Scoops Live on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. We had a little incident here last night I want to share. It was really scary. So I'm a little tired, but I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Okay. So I'm gonna share it right now. I just want because it's just been it was the freak it was freaky. It was weird. Okay. So I mean we live in a relatively safe community in Southern California. It's a bedroom community, kind of halfway between LA and San Diego. It's a bedroom community, there's some crime, but it's relatively safe. And, as a lot of you guys know, my middle son is a deputy sheriff and he lives with us. And so because he works different kinds of shifts, like right now, he'll come in anywhere between like midnight and 6 a.m., 7 a.m., just depending. And a lot of times in the weekend, I'm like watching TV late. I might fall asleep downstairs. So I'm downstairs sleeping. And this is about 2 a.m. last night. And for when my son comes home, our front door is a little weird and it sounds like sometimes when you have to open the door, I know we need to get this fixed. You kind of like have to kick the bottom of it a little bit. And so I hear like a kick, but I'm really asleep. I'm really in a deep sleep. And so I hear it and I'm not waking up from it cuz I'm like, okay, that's Joey, that's my son, okay? And all of a sudden, the dogs, we have 2 now. We have Maisie and Scrappy. I don't know, is he back there? Yeah, he is. Scrappy just start going nuts. And that's weird, right? Because if it's Joey coming through the door, they're not going to be barking like alert, like, that kind of barking like something's bad is coming. And still, I was so dead asleep. I hear them barking like that, but I'm thinking in my sleepy mind, like, okay, stop barking. And at about that point, my youngest son comes down the stairs and he goes, "What is that? What was that?" And I go, "What? What are you talking about?" I I go, "Did something happen?" Because I'm really waking up. He goes, "Someone just tried to come in through the door." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And then I start thinking and I go, "Yeah." And then because I heard this car at the same point, I hear like this someone banging, trying to get in. I hear like 2 seconds later, this car speed off, like totally like just speed away from our house. And I'm going, "Oh my God." And he goes, "It was loud." He goes, "Didn't it wake you up?" I go, "No, I was really asleep." I go, "I thought it was Joey." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "No, it was like 3 times, like they're banging, like," and I go, "Really?" Yeah, our door was not locked. It was I don't lock because my son's coming in and I'm stupid and it's not locked. So, I'm like, "Oh my God." So then, we're just kind of talking and then the detective comes downstairs, Mitch, of course. I'm like, "Oh shit. Here we go." And he goes, "What was that?" We start talking about it. And so then he gets out his flashlight. And of course, he's like, he's working the scene. He's working the scene, right there in the grass. Do you see that's a slide? We have like this one part in our grass where it's real muddy and you can slide, and you could see where this guy, like he was wearing Van tennis shoes. We could like say with a Van tennis shoe mark on the door. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Is Joey here?" And I'm like, "No, Joey's not here yet. He goes, "Well, we need a gun." And I'm like, "Well, he's not here yet. And so I know I'm laughing now, but it was pretty scary. And yeah, we were woken up, of course, didn't go back to sleep after that at all. So here I am. Here I am. Yes, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was kids just playing around. Mitch is like, "No." He goes, "I think that was like a home invasion." I go, "Really? Really? You think so?" He's like, "Yeah, I think so." He called the non-emergency line to our police department. They kind of came out, did some drive-bys, but yeah. So I'm here, and that's why Keekins is here because I need Keekins. I need Keekins to get through this live stream. So without further ado, welcome, chat. I had to get that off my chest. I had to tell you guys about that. It was very scary. Um, what are we going to do today? Well, I've got a full live stream for you, as I always try to do. Of course, it is titled that. Well, what did I title it? It Girl, That Girl, Gone Girl. Where is she? Well, I have some thoughts on that. Of course, I think she is around, and I think there is a plan, and I think we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to start out when we're going to get into a lot of Gypsy and even some case stuff that I wanted to go over in light of some of her latest interviews that she's done over the last year or so. Mm. But I wanted to welcome you guys to the live stream. And I wanted to let me go over some of your guys' comments here really quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm going to do most of the comments mid live. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want to know, please, feel free. But okay, let's say hello to some people. Let's say hello to Sandy Hobbs, 6861, who became a member. Thank you so much, Sandy. I'm so glad that you're here and that you have joined the Truth Train. Of course, where would we be without Claire Power, one of our most loyal supporters, been here since the beginning, 15 months. Hi, everyone in chat. Becca, thanks for the new content. I'm going to try to stay awake. And yeah, Claire's across the pond in the UK. Well, Claire, I know if you fall asleep, I know you will catch the replay, but I really appreciate you being here, Claire. Next up, one of our loyal managing mods, Anne Fran, member for 12 months. Love to everyone. Hey, Anne, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Next up, Claire gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Claire is always so supportive and so generous to our channel. Thank you, Claire. It is much appreciated. Runax coming in, another OG member for 14 months. Happy Saturday to everyone. Happy Saturday to you, Runax. Thank you for being here. Next up, I know who this is. One of my favorites, B. McKenna 2024, member for 8 months. Thank you so much, B. McKenna. Happy Saturday, Becca. You look great even with the long night. Excited for the live. Thank you. Thank you. I feel okay now. I feel like I got a little adrenaline rush going, so I think we're going to be good. Thank you so much, B. McKenna. And next up, Main Chick Carrie, another OG favorite to this channel, member for 15 months, as long as we've had memberships. Thank you, Becca Mods, and this amazing chat. Thank you, Main Chick Carrie. You're always so gracious, and you're a favorite for not just me, but everyone in chat. I know that for a fact. And we'll do a couple more. Lisa Evans, another OG member for 15 months. Happy to have made a live. Lisa, I'm so glad to see you here. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the support you've given our channel over the last 15 months. And we've got at 11 My Future, member for 9 months, Becca, with more amazing content. Thank you. That is so kind of you to say. Really appreciate that. Thank you for your membership also. That means so much to us. And Honey Floor, I haven't forgotten about you and those little clips that you sent of Dank. I will be playing them in this live stream. I did not forget, and I want to thank you for bringing me those clips. And Honey Floor, who was close to Dank, I'm sure everyone knows. She says love to you and everyone here. Thank you so much, Honey Floor. And we'll do one more, and then we'll get to everything. And we've got Abs Marlowe, 5 pounds. Can't sleep again. Across the pond, right? Yeah. So what better than to chill with Becca? Keekins, I love Keekins. I know you do. I know you do. And thank you for being here. And before I forget, let's go ahead and take that down. Let's get the comments going for everyone. And all right. Well, all right, guys. I want to start out with Ryan Anderson real quick. I know some of you are following the Ryan shenanigans. Some of you may not be. I have some comments, and I made a video a couple nights ago. I guess he got very, very upset about it. I'm not really even covering Ryan that much. But there's other even YouTube content creators who are doing a lot of Ryan Anderson content. It's not really my thing to follow the drama, but when I found out about this individual named B Money, who is another guy over on TikTok that does these TikTok battles, and how people were saying Ryan was taking advantage of him, I did become interested. I'm like, he is? What is he doing? Well, it wasn't until today that I found out the whole way he is doing it and why Ryan is so upset that people have started to support B Money and not allow Ryan one win against B Money. I don't know who those people are, but kudos to them for going over into B Money's chat and to supporting that guy. Other news came out, and these are all allegations because a lot of people that were covering this Ryan content were saying that this B Money guy was disabled. And I'm pretty sure that he is. But now somebody is saying no, that B Money is saying himself that he isn't. I don't know. I'm putting it out there because, I want to say what is truth and what isn't. And I don't know what's truth and what's not truth about that. What I do know about this guy is that he is not sophisticated enough to understand some of the things that are going on, whether that is from some accident he had or something else. That's all I know. And so Ryan has clapped back at me and other people about this. And okay, instead of what Ryan should have done is he just should have just graciously said, you know what, maybe I let my emotions get away with me in this situation. And yeah, and some of you may not even understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just get into a little bit of this with Ryan, and then we're going to get into the gypsy stuff. Okay. But I need to do this because of some of the stuff Ryan was saying. Ryan did some nasty things, and it's not okay. All right. So the next night after B Money obliterated Ryan and won 10 battles in a row, the next night, the same thing happened. Ryan decided to go in again with him. And before I get to just a little clip of that, here is what I found out about how Ryan was really using B Money. I decided to do a deep dive and try to find out about how these battles work. And so here's how, Ryan, you were using him. And I'm going to bring this up right now. So when a TikTok battler like Ryan first gets on live, before they battle anyone that might be a hard battle, they want to take matches where people in their chat get these tools like a glove. They're called, what are they called? They're called power up, or anyways, this is what he was doing. So he wanted to face easier opponents that allows your MVP gifters to secure the top 3 spots easily, guaranteeing the power-ups like gloves and miss go to your core team. So what Ryan was doing was he knew he would always beat B Money. So before he battled anyone that was really hard, because knew he could beat B Money, he used him to get these different little tools that the people in his chat would have, so that when he went against a real difficult battle, that he would have these tools stored up, so to speak, so he could be competitive against, serious TikTok battlers. That's what he was using B Money for. And so what happened was B Money starts winning every battle. So Ryan's not able to get these tools for his team to be successful in other battles. And that's what was making him angry. Now I get it. Why he was so angry. I'm like, why is Ryan so angry? He's losing to this guy. What? So what? Right? That's why. Because Ryan was using him to knowing he could beat him every time, then he could get these special power-up stuff for his team. So when he went and battled somebody that was really an opponent, right? Ryan could throw these power-up stuff, whatever they are. I mean, it's kind of confusing, but I think you get what I'm saying. All right. So that's how he was using this B Money guy. This other woman named Crystal comes into play here. I'm not going to get like really deep into this, but I wanted to touch on this. She decided she wasn't going to watch anything about Ryan, and she just said, Ryan's my friend. And then I figured out what Crystal's game was. Take a look at this. Crystal trying to help B Money now. Listen to this, and then you're going to get all of this.
Been here showing love. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm trying to find a link to invite you. Invitations.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time on it. You mean like is it an agency or just a manager thing?
So I would be your manager, and you would be it would be the Beehive Network. That's what it's called.
Okay.
My manager, he's amazing. So he's the founder and CEO of the Beehive Network.
So here she's trying to help B Money, and she is telling B Money, yeah, I'll be your manager. She's inviting him to be a part of her network or whatever these agencies are over on TikTok. Okay. I guess this is like a battling agency. I don't know. That's my understanding of it. But so she's trying to help him. So watch what happens.
And he would be like, so like you would come to me, and then if there was any further questions that I can help you with, then we would go to Brian. I almost said Brian.
Okay, cool. I think Ryan would love that if I was a part of that.
I think Ryan would love that if I was for that. Okay, this guy, it's all about Ryan. Ryan, he idolizes Ryan, okay? And for both of these individuals, Ryan is kind of somebody they need to battle because Ryan has this 800,000 following, right? And Ryan has like, 300 people in his chat when they only get like 40 people or 10 people in their chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Ryan in the network too because he's got so many followers. So he would.
Did you hear this? I'm trying to get Ryan in the network too because he has so many followers.
I would, because I have I get a couple invites. They're like special invites for people that have a lot of followers, and so I've asked him a couple times. I just don't want to bother him.
So could this be why? Is this a business thing? Is this why Crystal will not condemn Ryan or say, hey, dude, what you did was wrong. How you handled B Money was wrong. There's many videos, not just mine. There's several videos on this one night where Ryan was just out of control with this guy, would not let him quit the battles. Even when B Money's chat was like, hey, we're done. We're tapped out. Ryan loved it. No, because he knew that he could manipulate this guy to keep going and going and going. So I don't know. I don't care what you want to call it. This Crystal woman who said B Money says Ryan's not bullying him. Okay, well, of course he would say that. He doesn't know. He doesn't recognize it. And I don't know what I'm not going to call it a disability if he's saying he's not disabled. I won't say he is. I don't know what his social issues are. Let me just put it that way. I don't know what his social issues are, but he's not understanding what's going on between him and Ryan. That's all I know. And it's very apparent. It's not a mystery. Okay. It's not like, wow, maybe Ryan wasn't. No, Ryan was. And the next night I did jump in B Money's chat to see what was going on with his supporters. And as Ryan was doing the same thing the next night, meaning Ryan was forcing this guy, not forcing him. This guy won't stop. This guy, if you ask him to battle 80 times in a row, he will do it. He will do it. And so it should have been Ryan, and it should have been to say, hey, right? When you see someone isn't at your level of understanding things, don't you think it's upon you as a human being to look out for them? I think so. That's what was going on. And Ryan didn't give a rat's ass that this guy's supporters, new supporters now, were getting a little miffed over in his chat, right? Because B Money wouldn't stop the battling. So that meant they had to keep throwing gifts, which is money. And if Ryan really cared about B Money, he would have told him, hey, guy, because B Money, again, won't say no. He would have said, hey, guy, you know what? Let's give your chat a break. Thank you so much for the 3 battles. Usually they do 3. Usually 3 is as many as they go. So when you say 3 is usually the normal and Ryan's taking it to 11 battles in a row, what, right? That wasn't normal. And he was getting increasingly angrier and angrier and angrier. And it happened the second night too. So my video came out, and then that night, Ryan did it again. And B Money supporters beat Ryan every time again. And that's when Ryan got all upset, because now he needs to find somebody that he needs a warm-up opponent. B Money was his warm-up person where he could get all these power-up things to then go battle harder opponents. Now B Money is beating him, so Ryan's pissed because he needs somebody to warm up with. He needs an easy opponent that he can beat and get this power matchup things for his chat to put in their so-called backpacks. So when they go and battle someone else, they'll have these little things that they can use to win battles. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. But here, what's Crystal's motive? What's her motive? Well, it seems to be business. All right, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But what she needs to do is just be honest about it and say, hey, I'm not, oh, there goes Keekins. It's not okay with what Ryan's doing, but I'm hoping to enter into some kind of a business partnership with him or whatever, or just say nothing. Okay. But what does she do? She comes out and she's like saying, well, anyone that's anti-Gypsy, that means they're anti-Ryan. That's not true. Okay. I know a lot of us were not anti-Ryan, and I wouldn't even call myself anti-Ryan. I mean, that's taking it a little bit too far, right? It wasn't that. It's that we were for Ryan. We saw what happened with him and Gypsy, but then things started to happen on social media like this, and he just became more cocky and more narcissistic, misogynistic with his yo mama jokes, all of it, right? And it turned a lot of people off. Crystal, she says she doesn't watch me, so I don't know, but I'm not the biggest creator that's doing this. I'm not. It's not. This isn't really my content, but I felt the need to explain this because people are getting the wrong idea about what was really going on with this B Money guy. Okay. All right. Is there anything else with that I really need to go over? Oh, well, one more thing. This is kind of a funny thing. I'll end the Ryan segment with this. Thanks to one of my mods, Mersey Me, who alerted me to this Ryan little TikTok video. I think you guys will enjoy it.
They fought over this motherfucker. But that dude's jealous of me. Like they fought over this motherfucker. They have fought over this guy right here. Because I'm the mother man. That's why. All these girls thirsty for me. Hey, ladies love Cool Ryan. Like, sprinkle me, man. Like E40 said. Ain't nothing I've never heard before. Let me just say that. Except the brother part. That was a joke. He didn't know she would be attracted to me, but after we met, she was smitten with me. So don't let her fucking fool you. Don't let her fool you. So that's it.
I don't know if you guys remember this. I should have brought it up in the studio, but we all know, if you're here and you've been watching Gypsy for any amount of time, you know the hypersexuality of that woman. I mean, right? Even in the prison emails. And one of the prison emails that blew me away the most was this one from Gypsy to Ryan, where she's telling Ryan, please stop with the sexual stuff. And I'm like, wow, coming from Gypsy to him. No, she was not smitten with you. Okay. That's not what was going on there. But okay, he wants to think it.
Another bullshit lie that has been perpetrated by Christy, and now it's believed.
I really need to know who is telling this man that he is the man, that everybody, that Ken and them are jealous of him. Ryan, I can promise you that Ken is not jealous of you, okay? At all. Who is lying to this motherfucking man, okay? Because I promise you, Gypsy did not think that D was fire, okay? Plus, you can't even see that D, Ryan. Also, I guarantee you don't even lash. You probably have a motherfucking asthma attack. You ladies that are lonely, that are gifting this man, really need to get a motherfucking life. Go down to your local bar and meet your motherfucking man, okay? Because this man right here is vulgar, he's disgusting, and he's creepy.
But that dude.
All right, that's it. That's it. That's it. And if he pulls any more shenanigans, I'm sure if I feel the need to report on it, I will. But it's not really my thing. But yeah, I just wanted to follow up with that. And Crystal, I hope you get him in your agency or whatever that thing is. I understand that now. I understand. Like for a while, I'm looking at Crystal. Beautiful woman, right? Beautiful woman, right? Seems to have a nice outgoing personality. And I'm seeing her super flirty with Ryan. And I'm like, what is happening here? Right? I'm like, I don't fully understand this, and it wasn't like, lately it's been like big flirting on her part. It's not just like, when a guy flirts with a woman and she's just kind of like, okay, like she's like, okay, she's not going to say something rude back, but it's like, no, she's full on flirting back with Ryan. And I'm like going, what is happening? Now I get it. Okay. So I bet you if she landed Ryan for her agency, that would be, no pun intended, a whale of a catch for them, right? It would be wow. Some guy that has 800,000 followers on TikTok, that would be an achievement for Crystal and her agency. Well, Crystal, good luck. Good luck with that. I wish you well on that. But yeah, he has been an asshole to that B Money guy. And I'm not the only person saying it. There's some woman. She's got blonde hair. It's up in a bun. It's like her channel's name is like, this is getting weird. She's funny. If you guys want to go watch that, she's funny. If you like the Ryan content. All right, let's get into the Gypsy stuff. I know that's what we're here for. Let's get into the Gypsy stuff. Well, we're going to start off light and then I'm going to get into serious stuff. Most of you guys have seen this. Gypsy, a couple days ago now, posted this. Of course, she's still absentee from TikTok, her and Ken. I have my thoughts on that. I will share in a minute what is going on there. There is some weird stuff going on over on TikTok, huh? But she posted this. When someone tries to throw me shade, I laugh because I never had to try to be that girl. I came out that girl. Thanks to my millions in all caps of followers, spread love, not hate. Coming from Gypsy Rose, spread love, not hate. Coming from Gypsy Rose, claiming to be that girl. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Okay. So we saw that happen, and it reminded me of a few things that Gypsy, of course, has talked about. It girl and that girl are two things. I think what it means to her, I mean, in culturally speaking, an it girl usually is like the model de jour. There's certain models, were famous in the 90s and the aughts and there's certain models and they're considered the it girl of the moment, right? Like Kate Moss in the 90s, I guess. That's an it girl. That girl, I guess it's the same. I don't know, but I'm just assuming that's what she means. I mean, talk about the ego of Gypsy, right? So she said that, but it reminded me of a couple clips where Gypsy had talked about herself being an it girl and a that girl before. There, of course, was this one that I want you guys.
I need to feel like that it girl. I feel like that it front and center right now. So I just bought these 16-inch pin extensions from Luxie. I need some serious help learning how to blend it. I feel like the color match is not terrible, but the overall blending process,
This was a mullet, right? The Joe Dirt memes were hysterical. I mean, but yeah, let's keep
need
going.
help. So if you can drop in the comments, let me know how you get your extensions, clip-in extensions to blend better. I have a trip to LA coming up soon, and I need to feel like that it girl.
I need to feel like that it girl. So this is where this comes from. That girl, it girl. I'm thinking she uses them interchangeably, right? Meaning the model of the day, right? Like the Kate Moss from the 90s, the Cindy Crawford. That's my day. I mean, I'm really aging myself here, right? But you guys understand what I'm talking about. This is who it's her dream to be this. It's all about the look. She wants to be known for her beauty, not for her brains, not for doing something good in the world. She wants to be known solely for her looks. Oh, am I wrong? No, I don't think I'm wrong. All right. Then you guys, I know you guys have seen this, but then this whole thing with Mia happened. But I want to show you this because then I want to get to this other clip.
Morphe is in shade That Girl. Did get this Hot Shot blush from Morphe. Is in shade That Girl.
Okay, with that look. Okay, is she throwing the shade? A lot of people thought, Mia, right? And then stuff that's come out about the wedding and all that. I think the next, between now and whenever her wedding takes place, there's going to be some of this going back and forth. I really do. I do believe between the two of them. I think Mia is done with Gypsy. I think when Gypsy first got out that, I'm going to be fair. I think when Gypsy first got out that Mia saw an opportunity. It was the celebrity of it, the being on the Lifetime series. Of course, she's in her early 20s. Yeah, she was on board with that. She was on board with getting the plastic surgery that I'm sure somehow came from some of those funds. Do I know that for a fact? No. But let's be real, right? Where did that money come from? To get your chin done and to get your nose done, right? So Mia has benefited. Mia has benefited from Dee Dee's murder. There's no doubt. There's no other way to say it. But I think at this point, has seen over the last 6 months to 8 months, Gypsy's displays of behavior on social media, the video, the little dance videos, all of it, right? And I think Andre probably has been in her ear like, your sister, my mom. Can you imagine Andre's mom? I just have this visual of his mom. I think he's from Mississippi. They don't mess around down south, right? And I'm thinking, I don't think his family is liking this Gypsy and her content, right? And I just think they decided to move to Florida. Probably was for his job, not because of Gypsy. I mean, that would be a little crazy. They had to move because of Gypsy. No. But I'm sure partly it was like, good, we can leave Louisiana, right? We can leave, put this drama behind us. Yeah, I don't think she wants anything to do with Gypsy at all. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. All right. There was one other place where Gypsy talked about how she needs to look like that girl or that girl. And it was when she got to LA then during this TMZ interview.
Been really nice. This is my 4th time to Los Angeles, and I feel like every time I step off the plane in LA, like I feel like that girl.
I feel like that girl. It reminded me when she said this, I'm like, oh no. Because you know how many videos we've made about Gypsy, especially the documentary style. And when you make these documentary style videos, you get what's called B-roll of the people. And so that's like when I'm talking when I'm not, our first, I don't know, would say 20 videos that Mitch and I made are all these documentary style about the case. And so you get B-roll. And when she said, my trips to LA and I wanted to look like, what did she say? That girl?
Like it just gives me a confidence boost or something. Like every time I step off the plane in LA, like I feel like that girl.
That girl.
Like it just
that girl. It reminded me of this B-roll that I'd have to watch over and over and over again. And what am I talking about? It's the B-roll when Gypsy first gets to LA. And here's a little clip. Remember this? Do you guys remember this? Yep, this was the B-roll we played over and over and over again. Christy, what does she do? Why can't Gypsy what is going on with the shoes in this, right? And then they get out to the beach. There we go. We got you a special drink, Gypsy. That dress did nothing for her. That dress was not good for her. Yeah, I'm being petty. It did not look good on her. Oh, Gypsy, Gypsy, Gypsy. Did you feel like, when she said, I always feel like that girl when I get to LA. I feel like that girl I'm like, Gypsy, Gypsy. No. No. Yeah. So that is what it reminded me of. And I had to share that with you guys because when she posted this, all of that ran through my mind. I'm like, oh no. Is she still stuck on being like that it girl? And she's gone girl right now, right? I mean, she's gone girl. Where is she? Why has she stepped back from TikTok? Now, here's what I think. And then again, we will get to the serious stuff. There's a few things going on, right? There's a few things going on. Why is Ken's deactivated? They're deactivated, right? She hasn't just, I'm done with TikTok. Oh no, of course not. 9 million followers, even if half of them are bots. Yeah. You'd be really, well, no, actually, if you were Gypsy, if you wanted to do the right thing for your daughter, it would be to just delete it. Move away, change your name, right? Yeah, I mean, that to me would be, if she asked my advice, if she was like a family member, I would say, well, look, here, you want to do the best thing for your kid. You really want to do the best thing for trying to keep Ken, trying to get him to marry you. It would be, get off social media. But no, I mean, we know that's not ever going to happen. So where is she? Why is she gone girl right now? Why is she gone girl? I think partly the podcast thing. I think she's probably partly rebranding. And I don't want to speak a lot about this next part, but I think we all know that it's not rumors. She has been targeting certain people over on TikTok, right? This is what I know about. Do we know it's her? Well, it's somebody that is pro Gypsy, because the people that are being targeted are people who have reported, called anti-Gypsy, but it's not really anti-Gypsy. I just call it being for the truth of the case. So we've got content creators over there. One very vocal one is Audrey. She's very vocal about what happened and her account got banned, right? Okay. And I hear, and I don't want to mention any other names, but I know of 2 other creators that have been affected in some way, shape, or form. So is that a coincidence? Is Gypsy being gone from TikTok? The podcast, where is it? She's spoken about it. She's posted about it. She has a YouTube channel dedicated to it that has 1 video up when she promised 4, and only 1 video thus far. She said a series of 4 videos, right? She posted one like 3 weeks ago now. Where's the rest of this little series of videos kind of introducing her with her podcast? Where is it? What's going on? Gypsy is all about making money on social media. So if there's something going on, it's going to be about her trying to make money on social media. So then why is she gone, girl? Well, did she deactivate the account because maybe the people that are trying to help her with this podcast are like, look, we're having problems getting sponsors. We need to, some of these people need to go. I don't know. I'm just, as I say, spitballing. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. I mean, is that what's going on? Because it's nothing new for her to want to target creators. That's not new. But her deactivating the account, Ken's, so this way there couldn't be retaliation coming towards mass reporting of her account when these things start happening to certain content creators. Is that why? Is that the game? Is that the strategy? I don't know. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I can't say 100% sure. I'm just trying to put all these little puzzle pieces together. So she is gone, girl, for now. Sorry to say, it's not forever. It just isn't. Not yet. Not yet. But we can wish, we can hope, and we can keep going, right? I don't think she'll ever be totally gone from social media, but here's what I see that has happened. If you go back to when she first got out of prison, that's when I first started this channel. From that point where she was celebrated, she was like, oh, I remember TikTok was just on fire. People were having parties. People were saying, oh my God, Gypsy Rose is getting out of prison parties, right? It was like she was at that point kind of the it girl for social media. Not looks wise, okay? But yes, at that point. And people were just welcoming her and celebrating her. If you think about that point to now, oh no, there has been a huge change in public perception of her, especially on TikTok. Not so much on Instagram, I guess, and YouTube, I'd say 50-50, right? But TikTok, she's gone. I mean, y'all over on TikTok have done a wonderful job of kind of educating the masses over there to the truth. Okay. Will she ever be totally gone? I don't know. I think our whole thing is we just don't want young people being influenced by her, that what she did is some way, shape, or form something they could follow. You know how teenagers are, the rebellious years. Of course, most of us don't think about murdering our parents, but there are a few. And that's what's scary, right? And you don't even want your grandkid to think Gypsy Rose is cool. You don't want that. That's the whole point. So the only way to combat that is to get the truth out, right? And so I think we've come a long way. I think we have a ways to go. And I can say that maybe some of you have noticed that I started to cover kind of a different case on this channel. That is by design. No, I'm not leaving Gypsy content, but I always knew that at some point with the stuff that we're doing behind the scenes, that my speech about Gypsy, I could still talk about her, but certain things, it's going to become increasingly more difficult for me to talk about. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. But I'm not going to stop talking about her, but we're at a point now. I have to be very careful. We're at a point now that I'm going to start covering a few other cases. But I'm always going to cover Gypsy because we're just at a point. Okay. And that's all I'm going to say. And I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. All right. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And in the future, you will understand, and we will look back on this and you guys will go, oh, that's what, and we're going to go, yes, that's why. And you guys are going to get it. You're going to get it. And that's all I'm going to say. All right. Now I'm going to get to some Gypsy content, stuff that I can talk about. All right. There's certain things I can talk about. All right. Whew. All right. Gypsy has done many interviews, right, since her release, even some that she did in prison. There was, there's certain documentaries. So this is, if you were like her attorney, if you were her PR person, you would be like frantic with the number of interviews she's done where she's talked about the case. Why? Because I think I mentioned this in one of my last videos about her. When you talk about like detectives, why do detectives, or number one, why do attorneys take depositions? Why do they do that? Well, they want to find out what the person's going to say, right? So they want them on the record. So it's on the record. They're sworn in. Depositions are sworn in stuff. They want them on the record. But then they might do another one and another one and another one. Why? They're trying to catch them in inconsistencies and lies, because the truth doesn't change. The truth doesn't change. Yes, you may say XYZ happened. And then in the next interview, they may ask you something. Hey, expound on that. You can add to a story, but the main facts of the case, right, don't change. Okay. Even if you're going to talk about something in a broader sense, right? And detectives do the same thing. They will interview, re-interview, bring them in again, because they're trying to catch them in that one little lie that'll break them, right? And so that's why when I've said Gypsy's given all these interviews, and on a lot of them, she has spoken about the case, right? Especially about why she did it. Why did she do it, right? Now, according to her attorney, according to what Greene County who prosecuted her and that DA, the reason she got out early was because she was being heinously medically abused and her life was on the line. That's why she had to do it, right? That's what we were told. Because if that's not the reason, if there's any other reason than that, she should still be in prison. It's just cut and dry. If it's not that, if that can't be proven, right? If that's not the truth, and it was because she wanted blah, 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 something else. If she wasn't fearing for her life, is what I'm trying to say, then no, you don't get out of jail just because you didn't like the rules or you didn't like, whatever. Okay, so let's start to take a look at some of these things here and see what we can find. And after that, I don't know if you guys know this guy. This guy just came out with the video a couple hours ago. Some of it's good. Some people like him. Some people don't. I don't really know him well enough. But he goes over some parts of the interrogation that just a few clips of it are really interesting. And he is like on fire saying she is a master manipulator. That's where he's at now. And he wasn't that in the beginning of covering Gypsy, but now he's like, oh boy, she is a master manipulator. And I'm like, dude, yeah, you got it. You got it, guy. You got it. All right. Let's take a look at her Australia 60-minute interview.
The attention or the financial gain, the free holidays, the free home?
I fully believe that the attention was the main cause of it. The financial was secondary.
So at what point did you make that decision that killing your mother was the only way that you could be free?
I want to say it was around the time that I felt like I had tried to exhaust all the options that I thought was available to me. So I ran away from home. She found me back within 4 hours of being gone. She had chained me to a bed, and there was a lot of physical abuse for 2 weeks. So I felt like I had learned my lesson, that was not a route that I could take. And so then your survival mode starts to kick in, and you're like, okay, it's either her or me. What do I need to do to get out of here? And unfortunately, that was a thought.
Okay, she does say her or me there. Except, is she talking about medical? Like, so she took me to this doctor and they're going to cut my throat, or she was going to do this. Okay. No, right? It's either her or me. What? Well, the way she's saying it there to me, what she's talking about is that she wasn't allowing you to run off with men. She wasn't allowing you, she's saying this now, it's never been proven, right? Tying you up and all of this, right? There's a lot of physical and mental abuse. Okay, even if there was, which I don't believe there was, but even if there was, do you know, and I've said this before, there are cases, heinous cases. This one comes to mind where this girl, I think she was 19 at the time, 20, I can't remember, horrendous proven abuse. I mean, essay by the dad, right? The mom, emotional and physically abused her whole life. And one day she snapped in the kitchen. I can't remember if she stabbed her mom or something, but she murdered her mom. And you want to know what they gave her? What mitigating factors? And I'm talking true mitigating factors, like horrendous essay to this person. Okay. Nope. Life. 40 years to life was her sentence. You guys have to understand how crazy it is that Gypsy got out in 8.5 years. It is unheard of with these cases. Unheard of. So, yep. All right.
Out in my head.
It's a sign of the desperation. I think you were such a, seemingly sweet young woman with having lived a very sheltered life.
Exactly.
That's where your mind went.
Exactly. Because it's not like I had a criminal record. It's not that.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear her? Okay, but wait a minute. And then she's going to say something else here.
I had a history of violence.
Excuse me? Did she just say she didn't have a history of violence? You guys know. You know where I'm going with this, right? You guys know. Here is the bullet out, feeling a lot better. I have the best little nurse, Gyp. Warning, if a man looking like Gypsy Rose Blanchard approaches you in a Walmart parking lot and ask you for money, run. If the civic... I can't. Gyp and I got robbed. Gyp is okay. I'm sure she is. She just tried to kill you. Jesus. I mean, you're going to cry. You got to laugh or you're going to cry, right? With this stuff. I mean, come on. I got shot. Hope the police get him. All right. I know I shouldn't laugh. Oh, come on. It's funny. I mean, whew. All right. So it's not like I had a criminal record or a history of violence. I'm not violent. Me? Dagger in one hand, gun in the other, running at her. Well, she's got all of these like 30 wounds on her body. She corners her in the bathroom. And this is her own account of it. This is her own telling of it. Corners her in the bathroom. Dee Dee's cowering, she's got a dagger over her. It's not like I had a history of violence or anything. Come on, Gypsy girlfriend, just stop.
Or anything like that.
Been running with the wrong crowd?
No running with the wrong crowd. It
Oh.
was
In fact, you
literally.
had no friends.
I didn't have any friends. I wasn't allowed to.
Okay.
So she controlled everything in my life, my
All right.
physical appearance.
If she controlled everything in your life, how would you have all these devices, have all of these different Facebook accounts, right? Had all these different men you were sending pictures to. We've seen that one video where she's outside. Dee Dee's car is in the driveway. Granted, somebody could have picked Dee Dee up, but it looks like Dee Dee's home and Gypsy's filming outside. Like, what? I thought you were held hostage.
What I ate, who I was allowed to hang out, around, associate with, how much exposure.
Yeah, usually parents do want to know who their children are hanging out with. I mean, I remember my mom, right? I mean, yeah, okay. I know what she's going to say. It's, yeah, but I was in my 20s. And look, there was every indication that Dee Dee, okay, and whether if Dee Dee was right or wrong, I don't know. You guys can, judge this part, but Dee Dee even felt Gypsy in her early 20s was very immature, and she was scared. And I don't know why she was scared. I'm thinking, was she scared for the men Gypsy may come into contact with? Seriously, I mean, or was she scared for Gypsy, or a little bit of both? But according to some of those videos Gypsy made, that have been out now since December, Gypsy is talking about how her mom, doesn't want her dating until she's 21 or something. The micro deletion, part of it was the developmental delays. And so, I wasn't living with Gypsy at the time. You weren't living with Gypsy at the time. I don't live with her now. I don't know what her maturity is at this point. It's not 35, her real age. I can tell you that. She's stuck somewhere in her teenage years. My assessment, my humble opinion. Okay. She is stuck. She is not. No, she's acting like a 13, 14-year-old still. So maybe Dee Dee was correct in that assessment, right?
To the world that I have. And that was so limited.
When you were 15, 16, 17, did you think, I'd love to try makeup, or did you think about dating?
Of course. I mean, I feel honestly.
She did a little bit more than try makeup. I mean, she had like costumes. Okay. She had full on wigs. I mean, what are we talking about here? Makeup. It went Gypsy's stuff went far beyond putting a little eyeshadow on, right? I mean, she had full on outfits, sexy outfits, okay, Wonder Woman outfits or whatever they were. I mean, I don't know. The baby got back picture comes to mind. Yeah, she was doing quite okay for herself, all right?
That sometimes it's nurture nature, right? So I feel like we are biologically programmed to just kind of develop our sense of self and curiosity about these things. So of course I wanted to, wear makeup. I wanted to date boys. I wanted to go to prom. I wanted to do all these things. But these things weren't allowed for me.
But you did these things. Okay, I'll say you didn't have like lots of dates, but you had this relationship with Dan, whether your mom condoned it or not. It happened. I don't know how many other men, and then Nick, there was no stunting of her childhood, so to speak. Okay. And again, we don't know what her overall behavior was as a child. Was Dee Dee frightened of her? Look, she murdered her mom. So it's safe to say, and not for a good reason, right? That's what this whole live stream is about, this, the motive part of it, right? So what was she acting like as a child? There's stories, there's rumors about her not being kind to other kids and stuff. I've never been able to, say 100% those things happened.
Your only escape then was the internet.
Exactly. I could dress up who I wanted to be on the internet, create Facebook profiles, and create a new identity for myself. And it was, in a sense, an escape.
Whose plan was it then to kill your mother?
It was my plan. I'm the one that came up with it.
And who bought the murder weapon, the knife?
I did.
On that night, what was running through your mind?
On that night, what was running through your mind? Now, listen to the answer.
I think on that night, my whole thought process was not even focusing on what was about to happen. It was all about what kind of life would I live afterwards. So would I have different kinds of animals, like a dog or a cat or a bird?
You know what? That night, I was just hoping it would be over. I was so scared for my life. I didn't know if I was going to, if he didn't do it, I don't know what my mom was going to do to me next, if I would even be alive. Right? That's what we were led to believe. You're thinking about what kind of animals you're going to have in the future. What is this? What do you mean you're wondering? You're wondering what kind of animals you're going to have while your mom is dying? I don't understand, but I do understand. Master manipulator, but she slips. And these are the slips, right?
It was planning for a future that I had been so desperately craving to have, that the reality of the situation was the furthest thing from my mind.
You know, you're not in a car accident, right? And as your life goes, you're in a car accident. You're maybe gonna die, right? And you're hoping someone comes and saves you. So what are you thinking at that point? I'm thinking what kind of animals I might get if I get out of this situation. That's it. That's the analogy to this. Yeah, I'm laying there and I they're going to get the jaws of life to get me out. But I was thinking, wow, I wonder what kind of dog I'll get. Well, it's ridiculous if you were to believe why she got the plea deal, right? She feared for her life. Her mother was heinously medically abusing her to the point that she thought, it's her or me. So I'm going to have to kill her or she's going to end up killing me. It's just ridiculous how anyone can listen to some of these interviews and think, why, oh, I'm so glad she's out. Thank God she's out to get those animals she wanted. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? All right. That's the end of that clip there. All right. I wanted to show something else too. Look at this. I'm sure many of you might have seen this before. It's from the prison emails. And like I like to say, these are FOIA documents. This isn't anything new. So this is FOIA documents, as you guys know. So Gypsy writes on May 26, 2021. So my idea for the book is basically what will be 32 years of my life within its pages. I think the focus being on the emotional and mental complexity of what I've been through and the struggle to find myself and have the freedom to have a life of my own, give the readers a deeper look into what life was like for me. It seemed like each phase of growing up created a more intense hold my mother had on me until it ultimately led to the murder. So, okay, what led to the murder? My mother's increased hold on me. Not, wow, she was going to cut my throat. Okay. Not, I didn't know, she was going to get this medical procedure done and I don't think I was going to live. All right. No. My mother's increased hold on me until it ultimately led to the murder. But I really don't want to linger too much on the murder itself. I feel that part of the story has been repeatedly told. Yeah, I bet you don't want anyone to linger on that part of the case. She goes on. I believe we can somehow she's talking to Melissa Moore here about the series and the book, okay? I believe we can somehow fit the suspicion. This part just floors me every time. I believe we can somehow fit the suspicion of my grandmother having Munchausen by proxy as well. My God, will she stop at nothing? My grandmother having Munchausen by proxy as well, and that cycle repeating itself. This is why I would need the help of an author. There is so much information, and I'm not sure how to sculpt it to create this book. So, Gypsy was even willing to throw her dead grandmother under you know what? I think a way we should come at this would be, yeah, my mom had Munchausen by proxy. Her mom had Munchausen by proxy. My great-great-grandmother had Munchausen by proxy. My great-great-great-grandmother had Munchausen by proxy. Let's do it that way. I mean, doesn't care who she hurts, doesn't care whose legacy she destroys. So if she could have destroyed even her grandmother's legacy, she could have somehow talked them into putting that, stuff in there about her grandmother. I don't know. I guess she just doesn't care who she hurts or who has to suffer, right? And and the behavior guy, the body language guy gets into a little bit of that. We'll get to that in a minute. I need to take a really quick break to fill up some more videos here. And so instead of leaving you with some cool music to listen to for about a minute, I'm going to let you guys watch this. I know you're going to appreciate it. I'll be back in a minute. Hold on.
Trying to work out when I can. I don't like these little invite things. Sorry. No pain, no gain. Very true. Very true. And I've been needing to drink more water, so this is a great initiative to drink more water. So
there to look at, you know.
Sorry.
yeah. All right. Turn your music back on, then pause it when you want to talk. Perfect. All right.
Well, let me put myself back on. It's that. Yeah, I'm coming back on now. It's like I can't do it both at the same time, so I'll just stay right here. I just got 2 more videos to put up here.
Words, what happened?
And 2 more. Sorry, you guys. And 1 more.
It's just
Okay. So we're we're going over. Oh, wait. Do I have that one other one? Nope. I need 1 more. I need to, where is that other video? Hold on. Yeah. 1 other video. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, this one. No. Throat night. Is that it? No, this one. Okay. So I'm going to go to this most recent, just a clip. Again, we're focusing on the motive. We're comparing these. Okay. There is a big point to this.
Help me understand how it became a serious thought after the movie theater.
Because that's when I started to realize, like, no matter what I do, I will never be able to be my own person, never have my own freedom, never make my own choices. I'll never get married. Like, all of.
So what's the theme here? Is the theme her health? Is the theme, look, I was in this situation where, my mom had Munchausen and she was getting all of these procedures on me. And I was so scared for my life. I didn't know. And she was talking about cutting my throat and I didn't, right? In fact, that cutting the throat thing, that was new. That was never even mentioned in any of the other documentaries. That was new to after she got out of prison. That became a thing, right? It's not anywhere. But listen to what she's talking about. She's talking about her own life and wanting to have this freedom to live her own life. That's all she talks about when she talks about why she did it.
The thoughts of, like, what is my life going to be like in the next 20 and 30 years? Is it going to be like this right here? Is my life?
And Nick then just continue messaging back and forth.
Continue messaging.
And you feel like this is your boyfriend still.
Yeah.
And then your relationship with your mother, does it continue to deteriorate from there?
Continues to deteriorate. And we had previously, knocked around the idea of murder.
You did.
Knocked around the idea of murder, as one does, Yeah, we just knocked it around. He's like, hey, what about murder? I'm like, yeah, what about murder? Maybe we could do that, right? I mean,
and it was all stemming from a conversation where he's like, it was an argument between me and my mom. Stuff got physical. She hit me. I told him she hit me. And he's like, I'm going to protect you from anyone. I said, anyone? He said, anyone. I said, even my mom? And he said, yes, even your mom.
And there's not truth to that too, because we've got text messages from a year before that. Okay. So maybe that's what she's talking about, knocking it around, where his friend, this best friend of Nick, knew about the plot a year before. And when Nick says, hey, I don't think we're going to have to do that because that's like a last resort. I know you guys, a lot of you remember that text. And so this friend, is going, well, this sounds crazy. And Nick's like, you won't hurt my feelings if you think Gypsy's crazy, but is she crazy? He's looking for guidance because he's level 2 autistic and he's not sure, is this like really crazy, And so there's all that. But the way she likes to portray it, and look, I'm not trying to give Nick a pass, but the way she's always tried to portray this, and we'll see this with this body language guy in a minute when he talks about that portion of the interview, and her body language when she's talking about this has always been, of course, to throw Nick under the bus. That was actually her last resort, right?
Like, I'll take her out too. And never thinking that was actually going to happen.
Okay. So for you, it wasn't a serious thought.
It wasn't a serious thought until after what happened at the movie theater.
Okay. So, really, so after the movie theater, then at that point, you were, well, help me understand how it became a serious thought after the movie theater.
Because that's when I started to realize, like, no matter what I do, I will never be able to be my own person, never have my own freedom, never make my...
Well, I thought your life was in danger. What do you mean be your own person? Have your own freedom? What does that have to do with murdering your mother? I thought you were scared for your life. I thought you were being heinously medically abused, and that's why you had to do this. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what does be your own person or have your own freedom have anything to do with you murdering her? Just get up and leave the house. Have your own freedom. Go ahead. Okay? Man, I don't know with this DA Dan Patterson, I think I'll make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction here. I say in the next 12 months, DA Dan Patterson will have to go on the record in this case. It's a bold prediction, Cotton. Yes, it is. It is a bold prediction. But remember, I said it here so that when it happens, I'll say, remember, I think DA Dan's going to have to say something about this.
My own choices. I'll never get married. Like, all of the thoughts of, like, what is my life going to be like in the next 20 and 30 years? Is it going to be like this right here? Is my life going to continue to be this?
I thought you were scared for your life. What is this talk and what does this have to do with you murdering someone? You see how it just, she's smart, but she's not smart too, right? Because you can feel her in these answers. This is her truth, right? She's making the eye contact. She's leaning in, talking to him. This is her truth. This is why she murdered her mother, guys.
For the rest of my life, my youth gone, any happy moments of future children, anything like this. How long is this going to continue? And that thought kept going in my head over and over and over again.
I thought it was, again, I know I'm belaboring the point, but I thought it was like you or her. She was murdering you slowly. And so you had to do away with her. What does your life and having children have anything to do with that? And you're wanting your freedom and thinking about future animals you're going to have. I don't understand, Gypsy, because it's not making sense, right? That your motivating factor, the fear, should have been, I didn't know if I was going to wake up the next day.
So yes, the desperate thought of, I want my mom out of the picture. And it's like, I didn't want her dead necessarily. If she would have went to prison, I would have been all the happier.
Oh my God, if she would have went to prison.
But that unfortunately was a conversation he and I had.
Okay. So you had it.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm curious, Gypsy, at this point, you are roughly how old? Because I know age-wise,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know exactly.
I was 23.
Did you hear what he said? You don't know exactly. Roughly age-wise, what were you at the time you murdered your mother, right? Like, but you didn't know exactly, right? Dude, she always knew her age. She always knew her age. I was 23, and look at her face. Because that was shocking to a lot of people, because a lot of people thought, oh, look at her, poor little thing. She's like a little 15, 16-year-old girl coming into the courtroom. That was a 23-year-old woman. 23-year-old woman. All right. I know I shouldn't laugh, but let's take a listen to, and now when you hear Rod, okay, I'm just going to play the clip. Now that you've heard that about what her real motive was, you guys understand it. I know you guys understand it. Listen to what Rod said in Mommy. I think this is Mommy Dead and Dearest. So this is before Gypsy said all of these things, right? So Rod saying what he's going to hear, you're going to hear him say now, is before Gypsy's done these interviews, obviously, right? In fact, I think this is like only months after the murder, if it's Mommy Dead and Dearest, which I think it is.
Kill your own mother. How do you kill your own mother? Still ask the question, how do you kill your own mother? I mean, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be some abuse there. You don't just, I'm going to kill my mother because I want to be with a boyfriend. Like I told my mom when
But yeah, that's what it kind of was, right? Like he's speaking honestly here. He's like, you wouldn't just, there's got to be abuse there, right? He's saying, he's talking himself into it. He's talking himself into it because this is his daughter, right? So this is like someone talking themselves into something. Like it can't just be about a boyfriend or like going and having your own life, right? I mean, there's got to be something else there, right? Yeah, back it up.
I mean, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be some abuse there. You don't just, I'm going to kill my mother because I want to be with a boyfriend. Like I told my mom when I called my mom and talked to her about it. I said, Mama, I said, I've been, I was mad at you before. I said, but I've never, ever in a million years thought about killing you. I said, for me to think about killing you, I said, you'd have had to done some pretty bad stuff to me.
Sometimes I think deep down, and I could be wrong, I think deep down, Rod Blanchard knows exactly who Gypsy is. I think he's figured it out. I think he knows, but it's still his daughter. But, when you listen to that, he wasn't aware at that point. But come on, he's heard enough of her interviews. He's seen enough of her behavior that he is fully now aware. Yeah, she did just kill Dee Dee over wanting to have a boyfriend. And it goes far beyond that with Gypsy. It was this life she envisioned for herself that her mother was not allowing in her mind to happen, right? And so I wouldn't say it was like about Nick per se. It was more about this fairy tale fantasy. Because Gypsy doesn't really live in reality. Okay, the type of person she is, she doesn't really live in reality. She has these thoughts of how her life should be, and she tries to make it happen. And it doesn't matter who she has to roll over and hurt to get her fairy tale. Does that make sense? So if her mother needed to be murdered because she deserves it, right? She deserves her Disney happy ending. And because she's a psychopath, right? She's got the cluster B's personality disorder. I lean more towards the antisocial, but that doesn't mean she can't have the other ones too. I think she has a few of them. But for the antisocial, definitely there's something missing in her brain chemistry. There's something missing there that she can't feel the empathy. So literally when her mom was murdered, she didn't feel bad. She didn't feel sorry. I know it's hard to imagine that because especially as women, and I know there's some men in my audience too, but we have that compassion, that empathy, that just, it just, right. And it's hard to think, what would it be like if you didn't have that? You didn't feel that. I don't know. I can't imagine it. I can't really imagine that, but that's why she could do it. That's why it was just well, she's going to have to go then. She's not allowing me to live this fantasy life. I want to dress up and be this sexy bombshell. And I want to, have this, get pregnant. And I want to do this. And I want to, I want to be a celebrity. I'm kind of a hometown celebrity, right? I always go back to this. I'm kind of a hometown celeb. I'm kind of a big deal. That was her dream. She needed for it to happen, and her mom wasn't allowing that to happen. And yes, for Gypsy, like a lot of these other women, like this, she's not an extraordinary case. There's other cases that are very similar to Gypsy's. It's just that Greene County didn't wish to see it that way. And I'm going to play like a little clip of that later about some of these cases. But right now, besides that one, I want to go to, let me go to Nick really quick. Okay. I know a lot of people have tried to figure out what Nick was saying when he was sitting in that interrogation room, right? When Nick was sitting in the interrogation room, he was in there for hours and hours and hours, right? And he did a lot of mumbling to himself. And some of you may have already seen this, but I think it's important to go over. The sheriff's department actually do get in people who work on this to get the most accurate transcript of what he was saying as he was sitting there. And this is it. So you understand where we're at now. We're at with Nick in the interrogation room. And it says, after Sergeant Hancock finished photographing Nicholas, and Sergeant Hancock exited the interview room, leaving Nicholas alone inside the interview room. Nicholas stated, so here's what Nick said. Just when they said detectives, it was plural. I'm freaking screwed. I'm freaking screwed. I did that for her and only for her. Actually for us. So yeah, it was for us. I wouldn't have did it if it wasn't for us. She knew it was the only way to be together. I would apologize to everyone except for Dan. Dan is the only one I would not apologize to. Apparently, she decided to go with it. Like, screw it. Me, I actually held together until I learned she didn't lie. And I said, screw it. I'll just tell the truth then too. A little while later, he continues on. I really realize how screwed I am right now. Then some mumbling. The thing is, if I tell the truth like I just did, yeah, it's fucking sucks just having to say it. I really just want the best possible outcome to this as possible. I wonder what it is. I want to know what it is. She said she would get the best for me as possible. The reason I said all of this was because it's better to just let it all out. I honestly don't think there is anything else I can do anyways. Then a little while later, I really don't like this situation at all. I mean, I feel horrible and I miss Gypsy. Don't get me wrong. The thing is, I thought she was going to protect me. But then she told the truth. I don't know if she did it because and then it's an audible. I got a question for that lady. Does Gypsy even want to see me? I feel like she betrayed me. Where is that lady? She said she would be right back. She is probably crying because she realizes is someone really checking on Gypsy for me? Please, I got this weird feeling she is freaking crying because what she did to me. I know the magic words too. Pleading. I'm going to use see if it works. I hope she comes back in here soon. I can't believe she gave me up. I can't believe this. I better be able to see Gypsy. I just want to be able to hold her, tell her. Because right now, got to take the comments down. Hold on. Because right now, you made me take the fall. You say you're sorry. You should have realized. Let me take the fall. It'll be a lonely night after night. I really wish that Gypsy could say hi to me. I wish I could just hold on to her. To hurt as badly as I do. Detectives, the thing is, I already feel guilty. There is no reason to punish me for something I'm already guilty of. Makes no sense, it makes no sense punishing them for something they already know they're guilty of, meaning there is no need to sentence me to anything. That's a one-time thing. I'll never kill again. I freaking waited 26 years to freaking kill one person. I hope that's the only person I'll ever have to kill. There's a lot there to actually unpack. This is, it's kind of like a stream of consciousness. You know what a stream of consciousness of this guy realizing that he was betrayed by Gypsy, letting it sink in. And then at the end, trying to hold on to, I hope I get to see her again. Then realizing he's fucked, realizing he's going to be sentenced for this. It's really, if you read it a couple times, which I did, it is actually, he goes through that whole mental process of, oh no, she betrayed me. I've told the truth now. Where's Gypsy? I hope I get to see her. Like, he realizes he's going to prison. He realizes he's going to prison for life, probably. He's not going to be able to see her again. It's over with. And after I read that a couple of times, I thought to myself, I wonder, because I get he's level 2, right? But the betrayal of that must have been really hard for him to take, to realize her utter betrayal of him. Because, I don't know what capacity Nick has, look, he's not a psychopath. I can tell you that, right? He does feel empathy. Okay. He was, basically manipulated into doing this, of course. Still, he needs to be in prison. He did the deed. But I got to wonder, not only him, but then his mom and his whole family. And you don't really hear much about, like, he has a brother, right? I was wondering about his brother the other day too. But I thought I would just share that stream of consciousness of what he went through, sitting for hours. That's a couple hours stream of consciousness, by the way. It didn't go like that. It's like there was like long pauses in between those thoughts. What I mean is, in the beginning, he's, the realization takes several hours for him to realize. Then at the end, he talks about being punished. Then at the end, and then saying there's really no reason. He's bargaining then. I don't know who he's bargaining with God, with himself, whatever. The bargaining is, I'm not, I waited 26 years to kill one person. I would not have done this if it wasn't for her. I wasn't out to kill anyone, right? The bargaining of, you really don't have to punish me for something I already feel guilty about. I already feel the guilt has already settled in. And I do believe he felt guilt from this. I do believe he did. Okay. Yeah, there's so many sad things to this. I just want to play this. Did I play that clip? Yeah, I played that clip. No, I didn't play this one. Okay, hold on. Let's get to this clip. So this is when she's taking her plea deal. I gotta stop it.
Okay. This is, sorry, I didn't realize they were going to bring you out immediately. Okay, this is the new charge, Class A felony of murder in the 2nd degree, and that acting in concert with another knowingly caused the death of your mother by stabbing her.
This is in the case of State of Missouri versus Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Gypsy Blanchard.
And how old are you?
I'm going to be 25 years old at 24.
And how far did you go in school?
About the 2nd grade.
How do you plead to the Class A felony of murder in the 2nd degree?
Guilty.
The court finds that there is a factual basis for a plea of guilty. The court accepts the defendant's plea of guilty and finds the defendant guilty thereof beyond a reasonable doubt. She's to be sentenced to 10 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections. She'll have to do 85% of her sentence before she's eligible for parole. Let's go off the record.
There you are.
This case is unusual and extraordinary.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm going to show that in a minute. It's not.
Gypsy Blanchard endured nearly 2 decades.
Okay, so here's the DA. I predict you're going to hear from him in the next 12 months. Okay, he's going to be talking about this. Not going to like it.
Of systematic,
listen to what he says here.
Purposeful abuse at the hands of her mother for the purpose of fraud. And so by amending to murder in the second degree, we were able to both hold Gypsy Blanchard accountable for the murder, which was not justified nor excusable, but yet account for those mitigating circumstances.
For those mitigating circumstances. What were they? Because Gypsy doesn't talk about those mitigating circumstances during any of these interviews. Nope, she does not. She talks about wanting to get away from her mom to have a family, to have freedom, to have animals. So I'm unclear, Mr. DA. Tell me exactly, what are the mitigating circumstances?
All of us involved are, it's relief. You know, at the very beginning of this, there was the question of the death penalty on the table.
It was so serious, and I know you guys all know this, but I gotta say it, that the death penalty was on the table for her. To go from death penalty to 8.5 years? Mind blown. Mind blown.
Ultimately, it's the best outcome for her. It's the best outcome for the state of Missouri, and ultimately the right thing to do for everybody.
Do I think someday that so many more people than just our little niche here will be saying and thinking this way? Yes, I do. And you can clock that too. Prediction, another prediction.
That one's in this pocket.
I mean, it's a murder. There's nothing we can do about that. So you know, that has to be dealt with. But ultimately, when you look at the fact that at the end of that 8.5 years, when she's already done a year of that, she'll be 32 years old. She'll be 3 years younger than I am right now. So, I mean, she will actually be able to enjoy just the world.
Do you think 10 years in jail is better than 10 years of living the way that you had to live?
Yes, it is. I need to start over like I'm newly born.
Start over like I'm newly born. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Here they are. Here they are.
Green? Green? Yeah, white and green.
Oh, this is funny. Okay, I know there's just little tidbits, but you know, there's just a little clip. So Rod and his hats, right? Christy is going to tell him what hat he can wear and which one he can't wear. Watch.
No.
No,
No, other hat.
not that one. No. No.
I'm holding on to that girl.
Can you imagine if she does that over a hat? Over like really serious issues in their life? No, not that one. Can you imagine?
You know, it's going to be very emotional.
Yeah, you'll be crybaby.
You're probably going to cry too, and then when you're going to cry, I'm going to cry because you're crying, because it's hard to see grown men cry.
I won't cry.
Bullshit. You cry.
Gypsy, her little, she still does it now, you know, bye-bye. Oh, I don't know why that stuff is like nails on chalkboard for me. Her certain mannerisms, I don't know why. I know it's petty. I can't. Daddy, we did it. I got them all full, Daddy. Oh, Christ. Daddy. I can't.
You're so big.
I know.
You're so big. What? Just like a midget. Okay. Look, I love me some little people. Okay. But what? And okay. No.
I'm almost as tall as you.
I'm almost as tall as you. Like she's still growing. Pretty soon I will be. Yes, I'll be a gig girl. I'm going to be a gig girl. Who said it? Susan Rice. Yes, Susan. I can be a good girl. I promise I'll be a good girl.
Everything going with your health-wise? You good? You feel
Going
good?
good, yeah. I've been going to the rec yard, been exercising. My tube site's finally all healed.
Looks
Yeah.
great. Looks good.
Yeah, all healed up. So every once in a while I get a little pain, but I think it's just phantom pain or something.
Yeah.
That's not like you don't have a major chromosomal disorder or anything. I don't know. Color me crazy. Yeah, I'm doing great health-wise.
So you glad that it's
I'm happy that it's over.
yeah. We was, you know, honestly, we was hoping for less. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
They were hoping for less than 8 years or 10 years, you know, but 8.5. I mean, crazy. She murdered her mother. You were hoping for less? What is this? Like a misdemeanor traffic stop? What are we talking about here? It's a murder case. It was the death penalty on the table. We were hoping for less. I mean, it's just crazy.
I know it was a decision and everything. That's the gamble you take. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at it like you could have got 30 years.
I look at it that I could have got life in prison. You know,
You could have got death.
I was hitting a really down point, and it was before the plea agreement, before I knew anything about it. I was thinking, if I get life in prison, and that is what I get, I'm committing suicide right now. You know, I was seriously considering it.
Oh,
'Cause I'm like,
She never would have done that. Look, I can tell you, you know, working in psych as long as I did, working with true people that wanted to do that. I mean, you know, like when people no, okay, just trust me. No, and I know psychiatrists would back me up with this. She is not someone who would ever do that. Okay. She uses those kind of words for manipulation to get people to feel sorry for her. I was thinking about killing myself. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
just be over.
I just want to make sure you know that
It's
if I've done anything wrong, I'm sorry, baby.
No, I don't think you did anything wrong.
And now Rod's apologizing for being a piece of shit dad. Okay. And listen to what Gypsy says. Let's blame the dead woman. Shall we? Shall we just blame the dead woman for all of it? Let's do that.
I think it's just mom was very good at what she was doing, and I think you just was completely in the dark. So, and I want you to know I don't blame you.
He wasn't completely in the dark, as we've seen the text messages, Dee Dee texting him, texting Christy, Gypsy's back in the hospital, Gypsy's blah, 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 blah. Oh, you know, Rod, don't worry, you missed her birthday. Remember that whole missed the birthday thing, okay? They were in contact, all right? And that's why he's looking down here, okay? Because he knows he didn't do right. He didn't do right, okay?
For any of it, either of you. And I take blame on myself and I blame other people, but I never once blame y'all.
Yes, Anarchy. Yes, Anarchy Faye. Anarchy Faye, sorry, I just saw your comment. Sorry, but somebody who has sincerely considered voluntarily leaving this world, she doesn't sit there smiling. Exactly. Exactly.
She says. We blame, I hold enough for myself, you know, accountability. But I mean, we're not going to dwell on that.
Yeah, no.
We're going to go forward and
We'll heal
get out.
together.
You're still going to be young. We can have a great relationship.
Look, God pulled you through it.
God. Oh my God. This part about her mentioning God as if God had anything to do with the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Are you kidding me here? God pulled Gypsy through this? It's almost blasphemy, right? It's almost like, how dare you? That's like saying to Charles Manson, God pulled you through it. I mean, it's nutty. It's just, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, the devil don't got you, baby. God got you.
God got you. God's cradling you like a little baby in his arms, cradling Charles Manson. Thank God, Charles, you got through those heinous serial murders you did. What are we doing here? Who are the, what?
And we got you.
We got you. We got you. And we're making this documentary and we're setting up trust funds and we got an LLC and it's going to be all good, baby. It's going to be good. We got it all. We got it all under control now. We got cameras and following us around. We've got some series coming. We've got a documentary. Yeah. We're good. It's okay, baby. God got you.
Give me a hug. Hang in there, baby. you need anything, call anytime, okay?
Oh, she knows.
I'll come see you again over there, wherever. Just hang tight. Stay strong. We love you.
Oh, I did to crying, my daddy. My brother.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Now, she didn't even cry like that for her mom. You all know that, right? She crying for herself, right? She don't want to go to prison, obviously. Yeah. But she didn't even, I mean, you've got like reports from inmates and stuff over at the county jail right after it happened that said she did not cry for her mom. Not one tear. Not one tear. Nope.
Stay strong. Got this for her, okay? The rest is gonna be easier. Okay?
You guys have a safe trip back.
Don't get in no trouble.
Did she just stop crying that fast, or was there a split there? I'll back that. Did she just stop crying that fast? Hold on. I don't know.
The rest is gonna be easier. Okay?
You guys have a safe trip back.
Yeah. Wow. That was quick. Okay. Have a good trip back. Bye. Okay. Have a good trip back. Bye. I mean, seriously, you can't make some of this stuff up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I won't. I'll be a good girl. I will.
Set a good example.
Oh, there's a little, like she's 5 years old. Bye, 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 daddy. Bye. If I was 30, I mean, my dad was alive when I was in my 30s. You know, if I would talk like that to my dad, he would have been, what is wrong with you? He would have said, what are you doing? She's just so bizarre, right? All right, that's the end of that clip. Yeah, it's the end of that clip. How she got her mitigating circumstances. The point of it was in the middle, what the DA said about how they had to give her that, you know, because of the mitigating circumstances, right? All of the mitigating circumstances in this case. Yeah. All right, let's get to some more of your comments. And then on the other side of this, if you guys need a potty break or whatever, let's get to some comments. We're going to go over and look at the behavioralist. I got one clip. I think I have one other clip from Nick. But yeah, let me get to some of your comments, get your snacks, potty break, whatever you guys need to do. And okay, and then we will get on the other side of this. I have got Harlequin PDX. Harlequin PDX, my girl. How are you doing? $2. Love you guys. Miss you, Dank. Yes. Yes. And we've got 2 honey floor little tributes to Dank that we've got coming up. Thank you for that, Harley Quinn. And we've got oh, you're so generous. B McKenna 2024, who gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Thank you so much. That you are always so generous too. Thank you so much. You really humble both Mitch and I. Thank you. And we've got Jessa M 8338, member for 4 months. Love Jessa. So happy to see you here, Jessa. Happy 4-month anniversary. Love you, Becca. Love you back, Jessa. I'm so glad you're still here. Thank you for making the live. Appreciate that. And next up, Snowflakes and Firefly 819, £4.99. Just looked it up. You can earn money from other creators in a network. Oh, okay. Crystal isn't doing this to be kind and is looking for low-hanging fruit. Okay. So yeah, it's like she gets like little commissions probably. And if you missed the beginning, we're talking about Crystal Clear, who is this TikToker who Ryan battles, who she's becoming very flirty with Ryan. And we were kind of trying to figure out what is in it for her. Why is she flirting with Ryan Anderson? And because this Crystal Clear is a beautiful woman, right? So we're trying to figure it out. And so thank you for that. She admitted when she was in this video I played at the beginning of the live stream that she's been trying to court Ryan to get Ryan to come over to her agency. And so Snowflakes and Firefly kindly looked up, did a little deep dive that Crystal would get commission, that sounds like, off of Ryan's earnings going to this if she can sign him up to her agency. Thank you for that, Snowflakes and Firefly. Appreciate that. Next up, one of our good friends to this channel is Paula Merkin. Paula, I want to thank you so much. You have been with us and have stood by us for a very long time. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Becca, still Team Becca, been dealing with life. Okay, Paula, I'm so glad I hadn't heard from you in a while. So that's why when I saw your name, I said, you've been with us for a long time. I hope you're okay. Email me if you need anything, but I hope you're okay, Paula. Thanks for being here. And next up, we've got Abs Marlowe again, another 5 pounds. Thank you. That's very generous. Anyone else ever wonder what would have become of her life had the schmurder never have happened? Maybe still attention seeking somehow. Yeah. So you know what? That's a great question. I've never really even really considered it, but I think Gypsy would definitely, she wants to be a celebrity. She wants to be it girl, that girl, right? So I think she would be, doing what she's doing now, but she wouldn't have millions of followers, right? She would be in the type of cluster B Gypsy has personality disorder is she's going to go through relationship. She will never have a stable relationship. That's for sure. And, her life would be a train wreck. Basically, I think it's what it would be now. It just wouldn't be on blast. No one would know about it because her mom would still be alive and she would never have become infamous, right? Great question. Next up, our good friend to this channel, Mighty Mulatto, $3,010. Thank you so much, Mighty Mulatto, who is kind of the professor in the chat. I like to call him. He always has interesting points. Mighty Mulatto says, Mia said, thank you for following me. Thank you for following me for me, and not because I'm Gypsy's sister. Oh, thank you for following me for me and not because I'm Gypsy's sister. Oh, wow. Mia said, while inebriated. Oh, okay. So this is juicy, Mighty Mulatto. Clearly, there is an inferiority complex when it comes to Gypsy living in Gypsy's shadow. Mighty Mulatto, I've never thought about this. And because Mia's the more beautiful, more accomplished, can we say better loved by her parents? I wouldn't have thought that. But when I paused to think about it, now that you say this, and she said it while she was a little inebriated, meaning, what's the Latin term? Veritas vino. There's truth in wine when you're drinking, right? I can see it. I think it's a complex. Yeah, I can see it. I can see Mia not being jealous of Gypsy's looks, obviously, or any of her messiness, but I think she's heard about Gypsy her whole life. Gypsy was the sick sister. There's issues there, and not that I don't like to bring myself into any of these issues, but I have a sick sister. Well, she's not sick now. She was born with 3 kidneys. I've talked about it before. Point is, growing up, my mom was really hyper focused on my sister because I was healthy. And I remember as a kid, it did affect me. And when I got to be an adult, I remember my mom, before she passed away, like grabbing me this one time and saying, look, I'm really sorry. And I never been mad at my mom about it, but I guess it weighed on my mom. She goes, I'm really sorry that it must have seemed like I really loved your sister more or paid more attention to your sister than you. And at times, there was some truth in that. So I'm following what you're saying. I think it's probably a very complex thing that Mia went through. Although Gypsy wasn't in their life, Mighty Mulatto, I think there was a shadow there, kind of like you're describing it. Good point. Very, I'll have to think about that more. Very good point. Thank you. And thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Next up, we've got Dazed and Confused, member for 8 months, one of our favorites. Thank you for being here, Dazed. Sorry I'm late. No worries. I'm so glad to see you. 8 whole months, Miss Becca, whoop, whoop. XOXO, hope you're doing well. Glad to see you live tonight. I'm so glad to see you too. You're one of our favorites. Thanks for being here. Happy to see you. And next up, we've got Snowflakes and Firefly coming back with £1.99. Also, what GRB doesn't say is telling a micro one. Yes, yes. I know what she's talking about. She's talking about in these interviews. She never, ever, ever brings up the elephant in the room, which is the micro deletion, right? Yeah. Good point. Next up, we've got a new member. Everyone, well, you're not new, Bobby, but you just became a member. I know who Bobby is. Bobby, so glad you became a member today. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bobby's an OG, though. Next up, we got, I think it's Murray. I know you too. I always feel like I'm butchering your name. 5822, $10. Thank you for that. I think if Gypsy told Dee Dee she wanted to leave but didn't want to go to jail for scams, Dee Dee would have taken the blame and went to jail if it meant Gypsy could go free. You know what? I agree with this. Dee Dee loved Gypsy that much. I believe that. I don't, you know what I mean? I believe all Dee Dee wanted was for Gypsy to be successful, to live a safe and healthy life. I do believe that. Was she perfect? No, but no mother's perfect, right? This is a really good point. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, very good point. Next up, we'll do a few more. Bobby's back. See, then you're a member for 7 months, but then it says you're a new member. That's weird, Bobby. Happy Saturday, Becca and everyone. Well, thank you, Bobby. I'm so glad you're here. See, I knew you weren't new. So glad you're here, Bobby. Thank you so much. Next up, It's Just Me Friends, member for 13 months. I love It's Just Me Friends. Thanks for being here. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is that girl who, yes, who murdered her mother. She's that girl who murdered her mother. Exactly. Next up, Mighty Mulatto coming back with $5. He says, Gypsy tracked Dee Dee, shot her with an air-powered pellet rifle as she hobbled and begged, callously reloaded to strike her 32 times. Yes, the nerve. This is such a good point because in the beginning, people only thought she shot at her 10 times because that's how much the pellet gun held, right? And so this is the point he's making, is that we know from the hospital records there was 30 wounds at least. So she did reload. Yeah, great point. Thank you for that, Mighty Mulatto. I told you guys he always has something interesting to say. Next up, now I always kind of screw your name up too, but I think it's at Insomniac, right? 2 pounds, 2 videos in one night. Yes, I am here. I did drop a video this morning on another case. Yes, and I'm glad you're here in the live. And thank you so much for being here at Insomniac. And next up, we got at Chris Sayers, 8647, member for 8 months. Dee Dee's death was a moment that Gypsy felt powerful. Yes. Having control over Nick and taking Dee Dee's life. Yes. She was drunk with that power. She was drunk with that feeling of power. 100% spot on. Great assessment. Great analysis. Thank you, Chris Sayer. And thank you for being a member for 8 months. Next up, we'll do a few more and then we'll get back to it. Snowflakes and Firefly, £1.99. GRB is an it girl, like Pennywise and Steve. Look, it's it. Just it. Right? I see people doing that. It. Yeah, it. Thank you for that, Snowflakes and Firefly. Next up, we've got, who do we got? We got a super chat from Zan 1964. Were you born in 1964, Zan? Because I was. Thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate that so much. And next up, Zan 1964 coming back with $4.99. I know this is a weird question. Is Rod her real father? Could her maternal grandfather be her father? She accused him of SA. Okay. No, pretty sure Rod is her real father. Of course, the only reason I'm saying that is because I know they ran her DNA for the chromosome test and that they wanted, and I'm sure by this point, even though she won't admit it, that I'm sure Rod's been tested for that now, because when she got pregnant and all of that, I'm sure the geneticist would say, look, we need to get your dad in here. We need to do his genes, and all that. So, Zan, 1964. Can I say that 100% that Rod is her real father? No, I've never seen the paperwork for that, so I can't say that. But yes, it is true that she did accuse her grandfather of SA. So, good points and good questions, and thank you for that. And no question is weird. I just want to say that no question is weird, Zan. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's do a couple more. We've got Abs Marlowe coming back with 5 pounds. Been on the giggle since Daddy, we did it. We fooled them, Daddy. I'm a big girl. I'm glad I can make you laugh a little bit in some of these. Oh, Lordy, the cringe. Love you, Becca. I love you back, Abs Marlowe. Thank you for that. I'm glad that you look. Sometimes I feel bad because I do have like a big sense of humor. It's just part of my personality. And sometimes I think, Becky, you get a hold of yourself. You're covering a murder case, but some things are just, you got to laugh, right? You just got to laugh at some things. It's okay to laugh at some things, I think. Right, guys? All right. And next up, we've got Granny Grossa. Where have you been? I'm so happy to see you, Granny Grossa. Thank you for being here, who gifted 20 Becca Scoops memberships. That is so generous of you, Granny Grossa. You guys, everyone, give Granny Grossa love in the chat. This person has been so supportive of our channel and the things that we have coming up. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. The Granny Grossa, these are the people, and all of you that have made stuff possible. That's all I'm going to say, that have made stuff possible. And I think in the next 12 months, we will all be sitting here in a very big party. And that's all I'm going to say. All right, Granny Grossa, thank you for that. Let's do one more. You really touched my heart with that, Granny Grossa. Crystal M, 5913, 999. I think GRB killed Dee Dee because she wanted to silence the only person who knew her secrets, lies, and history of psychopathy. Yeah, I agree with this. She's still trying to silence people today. Oh my gosh. Yes. This comment, I'm going to stop with this one right here. And at the end, I will get to more of them. But yes, thank you, Crystal M. You've said it all. You said it better. It would take me 2 paragraphs to say what you just said. So thank you for that. And we will come back. Oh, wait, Popcorn and Smut. All right, Popcorn and Smut. Popcorn and Smut. Popcorn and Smut, $5. Happy Saturday, beautiful Becca. Thank you, Popcorn and Smut. All right, we're gonna stop with that one, and let's get back. I hope you guys are hanging in there. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, but I want to go over a little bit of this guy that did the interrogation. I've had some issues because with him, meaning sometimes at first I think he was super, like, he didn't do a little homework on Gypsy. I think he's coming around now, though. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about this guy. So he came out with the video today, and I was shocked. It's on the interrogation, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. And I thought, oh, this would be good for part of the live stream to go over, not the whole thing because it's an hour long, but to go over some of the highlights. So let's go ahead and take a look at this together.
Gypsy Rose, and the last one that I did, many people wanted me to go and take a look at her interrogation video as well, and so I did that. We're going to have a period of building a baseline as best as we can within this instance, and then we'll go from there. I think that's all of the talking that I can do at the beginning of a video without losing so many people, so let's go ahead and dive right into the actual analysis.
Hey, Gypsy. Is this Stan? Hi, Gypsy. Let you guys talk. I'm Detective Hancock. I'm with Frank County Sheriff's Office. How are you today? Good. Doing all right? Good. Good. All right. Well, Gypsy, I'm here and I'm going to get a little bit of information from you. So, since this is the first time I've ever met you, okay? So, what is the correct spelling of your first name?
It's GYPSYROSE. And my middle initial is A.
Okay.
And my last name is BLANCHARD.
BLANCHA.
Blanchard. It's Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay, with an E. Okay. All right. And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is
Oh, she adds the E. Now he's just doing the baseline here, so I'm going to fast forward. Getting the baseline means that he is just trying to see what her normal mannerisms might kind of be before he does kind of his analysis. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Excuse me.
And when it changes, and so it'll be what is considered a point of interest or a pin. And so I'll point those out as we go through this, but just buckle yourselves up for what I would consider to be a masterclass in subtle manipulation.
Whoa, a master class in subtle manipulation at 23 years old. That says it all.
Done by Gypsy Rose. And then on the flip side of that very same coin, a masterclass on how to not bite on all of the manipulations. So you're in for a fair bit this time around. So let's go ahead and continue on through. We'll start pointing out pins as we see them.
Well, Gypsy, we are here investigating something, so I do need to talk with you about some things, okay?
I'm thankful because I have no idea why I'm here.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me anything.
Yeah, that's right, and that's kind of why we're here.
Starting right off the gate, I know that this is only one little interaction in, but already she's framing this as she's taking an innocent victimhood side of things. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. And this is a subtle manipulation tactic. It's playing dumb in an area where you're not actually ignorant of something. She knows exactly what's going on here. It has just recently happened. She knows why she's here. And if you even saw...
And she does it with her dad, right? That and is daddy, right? It's that little girl, I'm a little baby girl, the innocent. I don't really know things about life. I don't know, right? She uses that, and she uses that same tactic a lot. Even in interviews, she won't act all like that, like crazy like that, but you know what I'm saying, that she'll portray like she had this very sheltered childhood. So I'm just catching up now, guys. That's why I'm so messy on the internet, because I didn't have a chance. I didn't get a childhood. You know, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know any better. I'm a baby, right?
The last video that I did, she admits within that video that she knows the entire time. So she knows right off the bat. And so already she's trying to throw out a manipulation. I don't have any idea. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate you helping me.
Yeah.
And it's this verbal gymnastics that she's already throwing in here. At the very start of this, as soon as things start getting implicative, she starts throwing out manipulation tactics. And I'm not kidding. She flips through the book and just hucks out manipulation tactic after tactic after tactic. It's incredible to watch. So already we're seeing...
I mean, this guy's like, it's incredible to watch. And this guy does these videos for a living, right? So, I mean, for him to say that, masterclass in manipulation, right? Masterclass.
Playing dumb. I don't know what's going on here. Thank you for helping me. This is building rapport. This is showing that she feels like she's helpless and things like that. And she's simply not, even at this stage.
And because this is why they had a female detective do Nick and they had a male do Gypsy, for these very reason. Like, so when you become a detective, you actually go to detective school. Rich went to detective school. They go to detective school. When we got married, he had just become a new detective and he had to go off to detective school to actually like go off like for a week to this school. And part of it, they learn like certain, tactics. And so I know like some people have really critiqued Hancock on not being super hard on her, but there was a method to that. He was just trying to get her basically to admit it, and to admit that she was in the room, that she was not in the room, but she was there. Like, that was kind of his job. Not so much to pin her to a lot of things at this point, because remember, like I said, detectives, they'll bring them back over and over and over and over again. So I think he did okay. Some areas, but
Kind of help you out with that, okay? So I am going to put this Miranda just here real quick, okay? And as I'm reading this, if you don't understand something, I want you to stop me and say that you don't understand, okay? It's not being rude, it's not implied or anything, okay? And just like that. How much schooling do you have?
Unfortunately, I was homeschooled, but my education is kind of scattered, so I have the basic of a third grader.
Okay.
She's already
Okay, I'll let him say it because I was going to say already she's downplaying her cognitive ability.
also presented herself again to be academically
Right.
inadequate.
Right.
You know, basically the understanding and learning of a third grader, which even as we go through this interview, there will be moments where her intelligence does show through, where she's definitely cognizant of more than what she's presenting here. She is presenting herself as being inadequate, even academically. Again, this is a portion where it's all centered around this. I'm helpless. You need to help me. Thank you for helping me because I'm inadequate in these areas, and that's
Oh, somebody asked about the Mirandizing her. I'm sure they had Mirandized her already. I'm sure there's no way he would have questioned her without her being Mirandized. So I just want to add that to Mighty Mulatto. I saw that in the chat.
manipulation tactic when you're not actually when you're not that helpless, when you're not that academically inefficient, and then you present it as such, it's usually to be able to offer yourself a level of alleviation. It's a manipulation tactic. So here we begin. Already we're having two vocal manipulation tactics that's going on through here. There will be more things that are even further highlighted as subconscious slippages from her verbal side of things as we're going through this that are interesting, and the detective is so on top of it.
Do you know how to read and write okay and everything? Okay, good.
Not too much spell very good, but I could read.
Okay. How would you say your comprehension level is?
Good.
Good. Okay. Okay. You do have the right to remain silent.
Oh, here he goes.
Anything you say, Kim will.
Here goes the Miranda. Here goes the Miranda. Okay. See, I didn't even remember this, but I was like, there's no way he's going to question her without Mirandizing her. So here it is.
We used to get you in court of law. You have the right to talk to your lawyer, have your lawyer present with you or you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be going to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Did you understand everything that I read yet? Okay. Do you have a cell phone number?
No.
No, not at all. Did you have a home phone?
My mom's home
Okay.
phone.
What's that number?
417-833-8501.
Okay. 8501. Okay. Do you ever do anything on the computer? Do you ever play games or anything on the computer? Do you ever mess with the computer or anything like that?
I don't really have a computer.
Okay.
No.
So these are her first lies.
Did you ever have a cell phone that you played around on or anything like that? No? Okay. No laptop or cable fire or
My mom
anything?
didn't let me use one because she was like, it's unsafe. So
Oh, really? Why did she feel like that was unsafe?
my mom tended to be overprotective.
Okay.
Past tense.
All right. Okay. So on the detective side of things, he's doing a number of semi-elicitation tactics. He's presenting and asking questions when what he's wanting is some different information within there. So he's asking, what's your mom's phone number? Realistically, what he's doing is he's trying to see what level of electronic device did exist within that household. What access did Gypsy Rose have? And so he's able to kind of pull this information out. Did you have a cell phone? No. Did you have a laptop? No. Did you play games on anything? And so he frames it with this conversational tone of just trying to connect with her. Like, what are some of the things that you enjoy and what do you not enjoy? And all of it is centered around access to electronic devices. And so he's being very, very efficient with this semi-elicitation that he's using here. And I have to also give kudos to him. He's setting up this entire interaction in the mindset of keeping her feeling more comfortable. He doesn't want to go in there hot and heavy out of the gate, trying to get all of the truth out of her or anything like that. He's not barring her off from the door. He's sitting away from the door. She has free access to the room. And all of these aspects are centered around adding this level of psychological comfort to the person who's being interviewed or interrogated. If you go in and you go in guns a-blazing really hot and heavy, it will...
I agree, Anarchy Faye. But she says, I love Observed, but this video, but his videos have yes, giving her too much grace. I think this one though, you're gonna see that he's pretty good in this one, Anarchy.
Will cause them to throw up walls. They'll become defensive in general, regardless of even innocence or guilt. It's that pressure that adds anxiety, and anxiety adds muddiness to a nonverbal analysis, or in this case, even just trying to elicit information from a person. If they're anxious, they're guarded, they're suspicious, and it's going to become more complicated. So he's doing a very delicate game within this, and he's doing so, in my opinion, quite well. There's a lot of stuff that you have to manage while doing this, and he's doing it pretty darn well. On her side of things, she has now said that she does not have access to these things. I don't have a cell phone. My mom has a cell phone, and here's the phone number. I don't have a laptop. I didn't do any of these things. And what's interesting to me is at this point, you see a large postural shift when it's coming around this concept of the laptop and maybe like games and things like that. But it's centered around the laptop. She goes and she does a pretty substantial move around with her body. Now, those postural shifts, they commonly are indicative of a shift of psychological processing on some level. You'll commonly see them in areas where there's a conversation. If you're listening, or if a person's listening, they'll sit, and then when they're getting ready to speak, they'll do a shift because it's almost like a role change that's happening in that. It can also happen in instances like this where there's just some extra processing that's going on along with this. And sure enough, right after that, Gypsy then shifts her presentation around to being like, I wasn't allowed. Again, she doesn't have control of the situation. She's a victim in this sort of situation. Just woe is her, and very, very innocent with this. She wasn't allowed to have a laptop because of unsafe. And then she starts saying, well, my mom was overprotective, along with the aspect of trying to shift blame over to her mom of being overprotective. She did two tense switches again. One of them she does, which is more subtle. She says that her mom didn't let her use one in the past, didn't let her use one because it was unsafe. All of this is past tense speech centered around her mom's behavior. If her mom was still present, and that's what Gypsy was believing at the time, why would it not be, my mom doesn't let me use one, she doesn't feel like it's safe, current. That's what her mom does at this moment. It's interesting that there's a tense switch in there. And then even further down that line of those tense complications, she then says, my mom tended to be overprotective. Again, past tense.
10 did. She's dead. 10 did, because she's in the past, because Dee Dee's in the past. And these are the slips, right? These are the slips.
My mom tends to be overprotective, but tended to be overprotective. So now we have 3 instances of her referring to activities centered around her mom, and all of them are in the past rather than in the present. And that would be such an overt pin. I do believe that the detective is picking up on these as well, but if you weren't, these would just be aspects to really add into that. If she's under the impression that her mom's alive, there's no reason for these to be put psychologically into her past. It's a pin. Definitely readdress it. Definitely go back around and ask more questions about it. Use elicitation techniques. The list goes on. But now we're having those aspects come in here regularly. Even within this, though, she's still presenting it, it seems fairly innocently. As if like, that's just how life was. And my mom was overprotective and she was very sweet and things like that. And that's the aspect, that's the energy that she's really pushing into her side of the representation of things. And that's important because this will, as this continues on, you will see this all shift around as she's trying out these different methods of manipulation on this detective. And he's so good at catching them, holding them, and then just.
Okay. So I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. Oh, wait, does he go over something right here? Maybe he does. Okay.
Okay.
I can put you 100% on it.
And let me talk for just a second, okay? But if you're involved in this, then you need to be honest with me. You need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
We're starting to lay on the heat. You know, if you're involved in this, you got to tell me now. And so she does. Gypsy does a very overt. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. It's very hammed up. She's obviously trying to play into this. I'm going to be fully cooperative. And then even further down that to further amplify in an area where it might not be needed, but she still feels the need to, and it's a lightly compensative effect that she's processing through here of, I'm going to be 100% completely open and honest. This reiteration of that isn't necessarily necessary if you are innocent in a situation. If you are innocent, like, absolutely, will do. Cool, it's good, you've communicated. This could be chalked up to youthfulness. Maybe she's just wanting to please an adult kind of thing and make them feel like they're okay and everybody's okay, possibly.
No.
But as we go through this, you'll see how this is yet another manipulation tactic here. Already in this, she has lied. When she was saying that there was not access to electronics, even within that little storyline that she had there, she waffled. There wasn't really a cell phone available. Oh, my mom had a cell phone. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a cell phone or anything like that. Those are lies. They will come back around and the detective will catch on to that as well.
You're here. Do you know where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay, where are you at right now?
I'm at the Waukesha Police Department.
Okay. All right. And how did you live in Missouri at one point, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago. It was
It all started when I met my boyfriend Nick.
Okay.
And we met on an online dating website. My mom had a laptop, and so I used hers.
Okay.
But
Let me back up for just a second. Okay. Earlier when I said let's be honest with each other, okay, I'll be honest with you as long as you're honest with me.
And there it is. He's already caught it. She's lied. This is an aspect of if you get somebody comfortable and you make them feel like you're on their side during an interrogation like this, they are more likely to let their guard down, and that's where slips start to happen. So now he's caught Gypsy out. Gypsy just a bit ago said, I don't have any access to electronics. And now she's saying, I met my boyfriend Nick on online dating because my mom had a laptop and I used her laptop. That's contradictory. And the detective so quickly is able to be like, hey, just, you know what, before, and he's not like saying, oh, you lied to me. But he does bring up, he reemphasizes, you know, we did agree that we're going to be as open and honest with each other as we possibly can here. That's a big thing. And he's going to continue on down that. Something else that she does verbally here to indicate a little bit even further of her intelligence is when she starts this narrative, she says, it was not but a week ago. And not but a week ago is a much more elevated way of speaking. You're not going to hear that commonly, especially within children. 'Twas not but a week ago that I did blah, blah, blah. And so she has this level of academic proficiency regardless. And so that counteracts kind of what she was presenting earlier, where everything was like, ooh, I'm not really efficient in any of the academics, only maybe a third grader level of understanding of things. To see her then switch around and have that come out here, it's just another area of a discrepancy in her narrative, her presentation of things. And she's doing this trying to maintain an overt level of, I'm being helpful to the investigation, and I really don't understand what's going on. And she'll try to double back around to that. Now, when it was also coming around to some of these more implicative areas of things, you could see her drop the blanket down. Now, I had mentioned earlier, I'm not going to verbal pins along with that kind of support these discrepancies, these issues that.
Okay, so that's kind of why I want you to be honest with me about this, okay, about some things, all right?
So he's presented it. Snowball gets bigger. It gets, you know, more.
So you guys know, you've seen this. So he does the snowball thing. The detective does, right? I think this gets really interesting towards the end. So I'm just going to fast forward it. If you guys, you guys know where to find this video if you want to watch the whole thing. It is pretty good. It's an hour long. But I'm going to go towards the end because this is where it gets pretty good. Okay.
Of this. He's now also played to her intelligence. It's just adding an easy out. Also implying if she's smart and she really is wanting to tell the truth, then she will do so now.
I know you love your mom. And don't you think your mom loves you? Don't you think your mom just is worried about you? Loves you? Okay? But we gotta get down to the bottom of the why. Okay?
I honestly didn't do anything to my mama.
Who did? Who did?
I don't know.
Do we want to go back to square one? You don't want to do that. Put you far into this. You don't want to go back to square one. How can I go back and tell all your loved ones and your friends that you love them? And you told Mr. Hancock why this happened.
Look, I'm going to tell you this, but please don't think I did it because I did anything to my mom because I didn't. Look, Nick and my mom didn't get along very good.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
So why do you think they did?
Before the guy, the observed guy, he points out that she's tried all these different tactics. So in the beginning, she's trying the stupid tactic. I don't know anything, right? And then she does different tactics. She's not educated, that kind of a tactic. Then when all of it fails, she goes to the crying tactic. Okay, the crying tactic. And at this point, this is when he's going to give her the out about Nick. Hancock absolutely understands by having her incriminate Nick. He knows she's involved. He already knows that. Okay. He doesn't know exactly to what extent, but he knows she was there. That Nick has already confessed. Okay. What he's confessed. So Hancock knows this. He's going to allow her to use Nick as the scapegoat. Okay. The observed guy puts it better than I can.
This.
I didn't say he did.
Sweetheart, I already know. I've already talked to people, okay? And right now,
He said he hated my mom, but because my mom didn't want us to stay together. But it was getting on my mom's nerves. Her nerve medicine was running out. Her patience was getting very thin for me, sticking up for him every time.
Good job, bro. Good job.
And so she asked me to stay away from him, and I promised her I would.
Okay.
No, she just said, well, if you want to go, go. I guess out of love, she did that. Because she wanted me to be happy.
So why did this happen to your mom? What was the reason for it?
I don't know. All I know is that
Why didn't it hurt her? Sweetheart, what was his reason behind this? And go back to that why.
I can't see why. He knows I love my mom. He knows that she's the most important thing to me.
So why do you think he did this to her?
He only said something to me that he said that it's us against the world, and that he's going to protect me no matter what, and that we were going to get married and everything, and nothing was going to stop us.
Good. Even your mom? So he took care of that, didn't he?
What do you mean? I don't think he would ever hurt her. I mean, he's very sweet. He's very kind. I mean, he doesn't like police that much. He's kind of a radicalist, I guess you would call it.
Okay.
But
Sweetheart, your mom.
So now we're seeing the newest phase of Gypsy's manipulation. She's found a possible outlet in the form of Nick, her boyfriend, which this is another aspect where it's like this entire thing was more orchestrated than not. Within this, she has always stuck to the mindset and the narrative that she did not do anything to her mom. And I think that's because from the very beginning, her plan had always been to utilize somebody else to accomplish what she was wanting to have accomplished. So she could legitimately say, I didn't do anything to my mom, because technically, on a technicality, she wasn't the one wielding the knife. She had somebody else do it, which in the most recent interview, she says, she gave Nick the knife. She knew exactly what was.
And doesn't she, and I know he'll probably say this too, but she still uses this, right? This, I couldn't kill anybody. I don't identify as a murderer. She still uses this manipulation tactic. It's her pattern. Her patterns have never changed.
Going on. So at this point, she's also still lying, and it puts into perspective. Again, this is an area where it's her last. All right, I've thrown out everything else, and we're getting closer to the wire of me being discovered out on this. And so she's pulling out her ace card. I didn't do anything. It was Nick. And this will continue to escalate throughout. Now, what she does verbally is interesting. She describes Nick as a radicalist, which is just not a third grader's word. It just gives a little bit more perspective. She was much, much more intelligent than what she ever tried to let on. And I think that's the case still today. I think that's one of Gypsy's functioning hubs, is she plays off not knowing things or being unaware of things, of ignorance, so that she can do more things nefariously. That's the case of what happened here. And I would find it interesting that she changed her patterns for no real good reason, because they service her pretty well. She gets what she wants when she does the things that she's done, and maybe she's learned it out of necessity because of living situation or what have you, but it's still a pattern that services her, and she doesn't have any reason to stop that pattern. To assume that she doesn't do it now when she did it so fluidly and easily and organically then, I feel would be remiss of many people.
Bless you very much.
So basically, he says there, she's still doing this today. See, I was pretty impressed with that he got that, that she has not changed. She's still using all of these same tactics today.
So I'm not going to go off on what Nick believes and what he doesn't believe. Okay? But we're going to start talking about why Nick did this to your mom. And you know why he did this. Don't let your friends down. Don't let those ones that still are there.
The big one's coming up. The worst manipulation tactic, or this one little thing she does, you guys may guess. Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up.
And got your back and still love you. Don't let them down. Don't do that to them. Because every one of them still love you. Let's not do that to them. I don't want to do that to them.
I honestly never hurt my mom, but I'm not.
But why did Nick hurt her? Now's the time to be truthful, sweetheart. No more lies.
The only reason I could make up is because he wanted me to himself.
Okay.
Because my mom kept getting in the way of us being together.
Sure she did. She didn't like Nick.
No.
She didn't want her little baby girl to grow up. She wanted to keep her little baby girl young, didn't she?
She said that there was something dangerous about him. She had a way of reading people.
Okay.
And she said that he seems like the head in a closet type of person, the kind that murders and kills, and
Your mom's right.
Jeffrey Dahmer kind of person.
I think your mom's right. You know your mom's right. You hit it right on the nail on the head, sweetheart.
Now we're seeing the waterworks. She has, at this point, from Gypsy's perception, she thinks that she's got the detective. Oh, he now thinks that this is Nick's fault. My mom said that Nick was a bad person. And the detective was like, your mom was right. And this is one of the areas where it's like, ooh, this is offering a little too much alleviation for Gypsy, because now she believes that she's found her way out, and she really bites it hard, because now she's leaning in really heavily to her tears, because Nick is a bad person. It's Nick's fault. And I'm a victim within this. I have no responsibility in this. It's all because Nick was so bad. I'm now going to cry really, really heavily. It could be organic. With how it lies in the account and the context that we're working in here, it is at very least a problematic lineup. It's interesting that as soon as there's this psychological alleviation that is offered to her of, it's not your fault, it's Nick's a bad person, then it crops up, and only then. Interesting and problematic.
You know your mom's right when she said that. You shouldn't have let. Okay.
Again, she's playing off here. I don't know if you could really hear it, but she says, I should have listened to, I think, my mother or my mom, or to her, something. I should have listened to her mother. And so again, she's trying to play off this, like, I was a victim. I didn't even know. It was so problematic, and everything was happening at me, and I just was going along for the ride, and how dare Nick? And obviously there was other evidence around that showed heavily that she manipulated Nick, took advantage of aspects of his psyche that were problematic, and amplified them and leaned into them and twisted those as well. She had a lot of fingers and a lot of pies throughout this case. But if you believe what she's presenting through this, everything just only exclusively happened to her. And it's almost never that case. Anybody who presents themselves as, I've never done anything wrong ever in any situation, and everybody's just always exclusively mad at me, maybe. But there is one commonality of everybody being mad at this person, and it's that person. And so there's usually some questions that need to be asked in those sorts of narratives, and this is one of those sorts of narratives. We're going to wrap up this little segment with what I think is just a very rich statement from Gypsy, considering how much manipulation and deceit she's had throughout the rest of her interview.
Then how should you have listened to her?
I should have broke up with him.
Okay. Should you try to stop him? Was he too strong?
He's very strong.
Was it hard for you to try to stop him? It's very hard for you to try to stop him, wasn't it? He's too strong with me. Yeah, I see that.
Right there. Right there, right? He's too strong, right? And she's like, right? The little bruise. Oh my God, it gets me every time, that manipulation. Ugh.
Look at me. Did you try to stop him? Okay. Hey, I'm proud of you. Look at me. I'm very proud of you for that.
Didn't you try to stop him? You were like, those text messages right before. You better bring your A game. You better bring your A game. This is life with me on the line, right? Did you try to stop him?
Okay, this is about to touch my direction. Okay. How did you try to stop him? Did you try to pull the knife away from him?
Oh.
Was that a yes? I can't guess with your nodding. So that's why I'm asking you. It looks like you're shaking your head up and down. Is that a yes?
Yes.
What did he do with the knife after all this was done?
I'm sorry that I lied to you from the beginning. I'll tell you the truth all now.
She's relieved. She's relieved because she thinks he's bought it's all Nick and not her. That's why there's almost a sigh there, right? There's almost a sigh there. And like, then she goes, I'm sorry I lied to you before. Like, she's like, think I've made it. I've done it. I'm getting out of this. I'm going home. I guarantee you that's what she thought at this point.
Good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I love him so much, but maybe he can get help now.
Maybe he can get help.
Maybe he can.
He killed my mom.
He killed your mom.
Yes, I know it.
She tries to present the story that she tried to wrestle the knife away from Nick, which is not the case. She has gone back and forth on that multiple times. In the most recent one, she said that that was not the case either. And so at this point, she's still lying. She's still manipulating. Yeah, I tried to wrestle the knife away from him because he was trying to kill my mother and I didn't want that to happen, which is just not the case. The evidence showed distinctly otherwise. She was very manipulative to everyone around. Watching this, you get to see very clearly how versed and how comfortable she is in manipulation. So then switching that around to this area of Nick. Nick did inarguably stab somebody. That's not okay. Doesn't matter how much manipulation has gone into stuff. That's still not okay. But, and it's a big but, it was not his sole responsibility. It was heavily, heavily influenced by a very, very manipulative Gypsy Rose. And then at the very end again, she's like, I just hope that perhaps he can get help for his violent ways because, again, it's all his fault, his responsibility. According to what her narrative is here is that he just stormed over to her and her mom's house and went in there and had a knife and went to kill Dee Dee, and Gypsy Rose he didn't even know what was going on and tried to wrestle the knife away and all of this. And that's not how it happened. Something that I had called out in the last video is that I've seen a lot of people trying adamantly, much more adamantly, to now defend Gypsy Rose and present her as the victim that she's tried to present herself as from the very beginning. And yes, I do believe that there are aspects of her existence that she.
All right, that's it. I think, you know, you can watch the whole thing, but I thought at the end he was pretty spot on there about her and calling her a master case in manipulation. I appreciated that. Yeah, I thought because there's other times where I thought he didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, oh brother, but I think basically I'll give him a B+ overall. Especially, I like the end. Especially, I thought he did pretty good. All right, there's a few other things I want to go over. I know I'm keeping you long, but just hold on here. A few other things we need to take care of before I let you guys go. I got to bring in a couple more videos. Hold on. All right. Let's see. There's these two little videos of Honey Floor gave me that I wanted to end with in a minute. But I also want to show one other video before I let you guys go. But I want to bring these up in here real quick. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So we were going over the motive before this video about the interrogation, and I'm so glad this guy called her a masterclass in manipulation. You notice that Mike Stanfield and the DA even kept calling this an extraordinary case, meaning it's an anomaly. Like there's no other people out there that this is Gypsy. Remember, Gypsy was the first alleged victim of Munchausen by proxy to ever murder the so-called perpetrator of the Munchausen, which was Dee Dee, right? That's how they sold this to everybody. That's not what happened with Gypsy. I think we all know that at this point. And I've showed a little bit of this video before. There is case after case after case of people like Gypsy, usually young women in their late teens, early 20s or teens 20s, you know. And one of these cases was this one. I've showed this before, but I want to show it again.
The evidence in a murder case against two teens. Good evening to you. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. And this is a story the I-Team first broke back in April after the body of a Las Vegas man was discovered. Now Vanessa Murphy is here with new material at the center of this case. Vanessa?
Brian and Denise, police say the parents of Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero told them they couldn't see each other anymore. The teens planned on running away together to California, and then Sierra's father ended ended up murdered. The I-Team has reviewed dozens of photos considered as evidence. Many of them are too gruesome to show on television, but here's what we can show you, and we want to warn you, this story is disturbing.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After murdering, day 3 after murdering somebody.
Whoa! Don't put that on
Brownie video, anyone? Brownie video?
camera.
It was worth it.
This video is now considered evidence in.
So I just wanted to show that because, see, there are the people go to college to study criminology. You learn that there's criminals follow patterns. It's the study of criminology. They follow patterns. They wanted us to believe that Gypsy's case was extraordinary. She didn't follow any patterns. Right? That was always bullshit. Okay, that's my point. And she proves that with all of those interviews that it had nothing to do with so-called medical abuse. No, it was not in her mind why she murdered her mother, and I think we all know that. Okay, I wanted to go ahead and show these two little clips, of Dank. Dank was someone that passed away. I don't know how many days it's been now. It seems like it's been maybe a week or so. But I promised I was sent these videos by Honey Floor 420. And let's just go ahead and take a look. And this is for a little tribute to Dank.
Damn, no, all the when I see you again, when I see you. Damn, no, all the when I see you again, when I see you. Damn, no, all the
Okay, there's that one. And then this other one. Okay, yeah, still very sad to lose someone so young, and yeah, sympathy to everyone who was close with her. She will be missed and she will not be forgotten. I know that. And we've got still little things, not little things, big things we're going to accomplish as a community with this case. And I know when we get to that point, that end goal, I know we will all be thinking of Dank at that point too, because she was a part of this. She was definitely justice for Dee Dee. And so we have that to look forward to. She will not be forgotten. She will not be forgotten. Okay. All right. I don't know if there's I don't know if I have any. Let me see if I've got any more. I'm trying to see where I was at. Why are all these starred? I'm trying to see if there's any other comments that I need to get to. Gypsy had it from the Adams family. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a couple. Hold on. I want to get to some of these. Did I do this one? No. Yeah, we did that one. And then we did that one, and then that one. Yep. Did I do this one? Yep, we did that one. I don't want to miss anyone. And then Popcorn and Smut. And then, yeah. So at 11, My Future, $4.99. Gypsy is it. This is the good one. Yeah, you know the kind of it you are. It's from the Addams family. Okay. Yes, I thoroughly agree with this. All about the hair and looks like a monster. All right, good one. Good one. I think that's it. I think that's the last one for tonight. That was the only comment I didn't get to yet. And I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. It was fun. Keekins has left. She was here and now she's gone. I don't know where she went. I think I've gone over everything I've had to go over. So I guess that's gonna do it for me on this Saturday Night Live. I hope you guys had a fun time. I know I did. I was a little tired, but once I got going, I'm like, this is great because really, really love and appreciate this community. Really, really do. So thank you guys for joining me. I will be going live again. This is the summer. I'm hoping to do a little bit more lives, increase them a little bit if I can. You know, we can just hang out. We don't have to always go over something super serious, but it would just be fun to spend some time together. I know I'll be making a video soon. And so you guys look forward to that. If you need to contact me, it's beccascoops@gmail.com. I'm also thinking of going over to TikTok maybe. I don't know. It's really kind of messy over there. So we'll see about that. But that's going to do it for me and everyone at my channel, for my mods, my loyal mods, and Christy, Mersey, me, SB, and Fran, Susan. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best mods in the world, and I couldn't do these live streams without you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Becca Scoops out. Good night, guys.